Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family beyond the binary, good evening and welcome back to the charity tournament for a community for a better Activision Blizzard King. Thank you all so much for tuning in. My name is Warren Juggle God Hammond, and tonight I'm joined on the mic by none other than Captain Jack. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right. The kids are snuggled in their beds, nice and warm. I got myself a nice cozy digital fire and some string lights in the background, really getting in that festive spirit because
Yeah.
tonight surprisingly I didn't even realize looking at my schedule this is probably my last cast of 2021. I don't know about
Oh my
what your
gosh.
schedule looks like, but
You
yeah,
know,
I
you
mean with
might
the
be right, actually.
yeah, with the holidays coming up, there's no better way for us to end it out than here with this amazing charity tournament. And for those of you that don't know what we're raising money for, it's for the ABK Strike Fund. For those of you that maybe have been following the Activision Blizzard drama that's been going on lately, employees of Activision Blizzard have been dealing with abuse and harassment for a number of years now, and they're finally standing up. They have support of the state of California and several of us in the gaming community as well, and this is our way to try to help them out. You can hit exclamation donate in the chat to be able to donate directly. You can also hit exclamation ABK if you'd like to know a little bit more information about kind of everything that's going on and why this strike fund is so important. But of course, this would not be a charity tournament without an actual tournament going on. So we do have period. What did we decide at the end of this
Period.
all?
Period
Period.
is what I've been saying. Period.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
So
I've
let's roll
gotten
with
so
that.
many clarifications as to what this is. So we've got period coming in, and teams have actually set a couple of goals, some donation goals from themselves as well. So for a period, we have for every map win, period will donate $10. If one of their players gets play of the game, they'll donate an extra $5. And for every environmental kill on the enemy team with a cap of 5, they will donate an extra $5. So that's a possibility of like, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we're looking at almost $100 donation right there
Yeah.
if all those get filled up. And then, of course, for our other team, we've got Tengu's JJ crew coming in to see if they can keep their run going. And we have some individual donors that are going to be coming in here. Lect, if they get a play of the game, they're going to donate $10. Currently, apparently, this has been going on all tournament, and they've gotten 4 of them. So I'd say that it's relatively high stakes for them to be able to get some more there and raise that amount. And then Afro is going to be donating $5 per solo ult. I'm not for certain if that is solo ult against the enemy team and they get a kill, or if the enemy team solo ults them. So we'll we'll have to see how that ends up working out there, Juggle.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. And thank you so much to both of these teams for going along with this charity donation tournament and putting up your own donations as well. It's fantastic to see people from all sides of this getting involved. And just to give you all an update, right now we have $883 in donations. We have a $1,000 goal, which we are sneaking up on rapidly. So keep those donations coming in so we can hit that benchmark that we are aiming for. Um, it's just been fantastic to see all these donations come in. But we already
That's
have a
true.
first map choice here in this first to 2 matchup between Periot and Tengu's JJ crew. We're going to be going to Lijiang Tower first, an excellent place to start things off.
Absolutely. Control, I always feel, is a great way to for teams to kind of get their feet wet and kind of feel each other out. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these players, probably play with each other on a relatively normal basis, probably have a good idea of who they're going up against. But if not,
Right.
then this is a way that they can kind of, if they didn't warm up, they can kind of get warmed up here on Control. It's relatively quick, even if it goes kind of one-sided for one team or another, it can still be incredibly dominant. We're going to be heading into the gardens to go ahead and start things off. And I haven't, since I've been working on other streams or have been working behind the scenes, I haven't gotten to see a lot of the compositions that these teams that have been running out with. But ideally, usually on the gardens, you'll either see a little bit of the rush or you'll be seeing the dive, which it looks like Periot is locking in right now there for Newbie Alert and Interstellar. We are seeing a little bit of the Wrecking Ball Diva, though, coming out for Tengu's JJ crew. Little differences on the support line, as well as Zaf opting for the Ana over Bingo's Moira. So a little less mobility, but a lot more healing there. And Lect going to be taking to the skies on the Pharah without the Mercy Pocket. That could be a little dangerous. Period going for the base comp of that Reaper Sombra. Get some hacks in, do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and we see already Snow getting forced out. They're going to have to Wraith form away. They took a considerable amount of damage there. But now Tengu's JJ crew starting to push very aggressively over this first bridge to try and push back against Period. One pick on each side, so this is still anybody's game. But with Newbie Alert, her going down at this moment, things are looking a little better for Tengu's JJ crew. We do have a pause coming in though.
Ooh.
Yeah,
All
unfortunate.
right. That's not usually a good way to start things off. I mean, thankfully, it's still at the beginning of the map. So even if
Hmm.
we end up having a DC on the field, there is a, they're not going to be losing a whole lot of ult percentage because, especially on control, that ult percentage is crucial to the way
Yes.
that your team performs. You only have I mean, with every game, you have a limited amount of time, but especially control. Like, I think if it goes from like 0 to 100 with like no contest or anything like that, I'd say it's probably about like what, 2.5 minutes. So you
Yeah.
maybe get one shot at this level of play to be able to get an ultimate on the field that could change the course of how the game is played out. So losing even just a little percentage could have a possible impact, but thankfully, like I said, it's pretty early on. So hopefully
Right.
we don't have any issues there. And we do want to remind you all while we're waiting to get back into the game as well. With that donation link, there is also a link to a form as well. Since we're having you donate directly to the GoFundMe, we don't have personally like a way that we're tracking it. Like, we're just doing what we can to help support the cause. So if you donate and you would like to be recognized on stream or just to let us know that you donated directly, be sure to fill out that form. It takes a couple of seconds to do. You can even donate anonymously if you would like.
And we are back into the action. Tengu's JJ crew has a good control over the situation right now. Even with the Gumbies going down and out of the fight, the res is going to come in though, so they're going to be back in it, and that's going to be first fight going Tengu's JJ crew's way.
Wow, it looks like Kaiju Core really showing up here today. The ferocity that we see coming out from their team is definitely allowing for quite the momentum here. With Pokane getting ready to come up on that EMP, though, if they're able to earn it up this fight, this could be incredibly beneficial to them.
It certainly could, and already they have a pick onto Zaf as well with them out of the fight. And the barrage coming in, though, to try and equalize things. It is going to be successful in that, but still the force coming out from Period is going to be a little too much for Tengu's JJ crew to handle. Hack comes in onto Spooty, and with them getting demeched, this fight is all but over in favor of Period.
That's right, and with Pokane having the EMP online ready and raring to go, that is going to be a secured fight win this next time around as well. There really aren't any defensive ultimates on Tengu's JJ crew, and the self-destruct goes in.
Yeah, it's not going to catch anybody, but it is going to zone people away temporarily. Period has the EMP coming in as well. Wonder if maybe they shouldn't have saved it for that. There's the EMP. Now that's going to signal the start of a very aggressive push coming out from Period. They want to make sure that they get this fight done and over with in short order, and that is exactly what they've done.
Yeah, that was definitely a great way to get things started. Even getting the DMAC to reset Spooty is something that will be incredibly beneficial to them as they pass the 32% mark of Tengu's. But those ultimates are coming online for Tengu's JJ crew right now. That self-destruct can be incredibly useful, and that nano, if put on the right person, could get lecked up to that barrage or just give Aster some room to play.
It's going to be Gumbies coming in first, though, with a kill from those Wrecking Ball mines. Pulse Bomb from Aster, hers gets eaten, unfortunately, so they're not going to have that to try and keep things up. But in the meantime, the Gumbies is coming alive on this Wrecking Ball. Lect going to finish things off with a barrage as well. And this point going firmly in favor now of Tengu's JJ crew.
That was a great transition right there. Quite a lot of ultimates invested there from Tengu's crew, but if it wins you the fight, sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing. We will see the objective getting ready to flip over if this feed fest eventually ends. It looks like we will see it happen now. So we're basically in last fight territory if we weren't already for Period. It's going to be up to Tengu's JJ crew to really hold on to this as long as they possibly can so that they can keep from being in desperation mode.
Yeah, and desperation mode could be hitting soon because already there's a pick on either side. Spoody out of the fight. That's going to make things tough for Tengu's JJ crew to stay in this. With Zaf going down as well, things are looking a little bit rough for them, but there's no supports online for Period at all. So if Tengu's JJ crew can sustain throughout this, they're going to hold on to the point.
That's true. As long as those picks keep coming in, Aster, beautiful pulse bomb yeet right there onto Bingo. But Newbie Alert is going to be holding on to this objective for now. Ends up getting the flip. And with no support on the point, it's going to be hard for them to be able to hold on as overtime ticks away. It looks like first map juggle going to Period 100-72.
A very close matchup, though. Both of these teams really bringing their A game right now. Not a whole lot separating either one of them at the moment. Only 30-some percentage. That's one fight. And as we move on to Control Center, I'm anticipating a lot of different, a big composition swap to come in here.
That's absolutely true. I mean, Control Center, you can run the dive. It is a possibility, I suppose. But ideally, until you get into the center room, it's not going to be super beneficial to you, other than if you wanted to run more of a bulldozer composition with the Reinhardt. I do like the differing of opinions for the off tank here. We have Spoody coming in on the Sigma, whereas Interstellar is opting for that Diva. Gonna have a little bit more range with the Sigma, but a little bit more mobility with that Diva for Period.
That's true. Both of them are going to have a high amount of nobility in general, though. With the Lucio being chosen by both Rannoch and Zoolander. Point being contested now heavily as it's starting to unlock. Tengu's JJ crew trying not to allow anyone from Period to touch. Picks coming in for each side. We've got DPS down on both in both cases. But it's going to be Tengu's JJ crew coming away with at least the first possession, if not the first fight win as well. Interstellar going deep onto Zaf, getting them very low, but in the meantime, they've gotten demeched on point, and that's likely going to end this push from Period.
Yeah, that stagger is really going to hurt Period right there. Honestly, Interstellar should have pulled back. I know that sometimes it gets, you get a little tunnel visioned as the Diva. They're getting low. I can dive right in and get them real quick. But now you just staggered out your team and gave up like 10-15% on the objective. And they're trying to use this teleporter to teleport behind the team, which is really smart. But all they're doing is giving a lot of ult charge and making it incredibly difficult for them to earn up ultimates themselves.
They are going to start pushing in, though, with this photon barrier, so that's going to give them an ability to get in there. We see Lex starting to set up for this Rip Tear that's going to come out, but there's a beat in the way, so they're going to have to wait and hold on to it. Never mind, they just go for Pokane and they get the pick. Tengu's JJ crew coming away with the follow-up kills to continue to hold this point.
All right. Looking at all of these, Period, I mean, they didn't get the environmental, unfortunately, so we won't be able to count that up for their scoreboard for tonight. But Tengu's looking to turn the tide right now. Ultimates online for Period could change the control of this objective, but it all depends on Rannoch's beat.
Yeah, that it does. And here it comes. She's able to get it out before this Rip Tire hits, saving the lives of many of their teammates. But it's not going to be enough to get Gumby's back in the fight. And that's unfortunate because they had that shatter ready to go. We're in last fight territory. And it looks like Period is pulling it out right when they needed to. They're going to get this point flip as long as they can finish these last few staggers.
Yeah, they're going to be able to clean that up relatively quickly, but again, they're in the same position that Tengu's were in the gardens, right? They have to hold on to this objective the entire time, because if they don't, it's going to be a quick flip, and then it's going to be a desperation heroes, losing ultimates, because then the goal will be just to get to the objective. Very rarely does it end up working, too. Right. So the goal is going to be holding the line.
And that's going to be hard with this amplification matrix. An excellent shatter block coming out from Newbie Alert. She did a wonderful job with that, but it's not going to be enough to save their team as Tengu's JJ crew just collapses onto point. They're going to be able to take this, and like you said, the stall heroes have to come out now for somebody's going to have any chance of touching, but no. Tengu's evens this up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, that flank shatter was probably the best thing that could have happened right there. I was looking to see if Periot was going to take advantage of that, but getting the initial pick there onto the Lucio is really kind of what made or broke that fight right there. They just didn't have the additional sustain, and I believe that Zoolander either was close to the beat or almost had the beat online and wasn't able to utilize it in time. So both teams set up really well right here, but Periot right now looking to lock in the standard composition with the Symmetra. Not going to have the speed boost of the Lucio though, so that could be a little jarring. Tengu's crew opting for the Wrecking Ball Diva. With all this CC on the point, might be a little difficult for them to hold control.
Yeah, but they're going to be looking to poke from the outside to take multiple different angles, but that's going to be really tough if you don't have your Pharah there with you. For Rannoch, if she can get over there to get the res, though, they could be back in this fight in short order, but no, it looks like they're just going to wait for the respawn and be happy to give Periot first control.
Yeah, they're going to have to give that up, and now with everything kind of set up on the objective, Pokane's turrets and whatnot, they're going to have to kind of poke from outside and hope that they can clear a couple of people off this objective first before they push in, because without knowing where the turrets are, and again, your Pharah getting picked off the side, that's no res potential right there, Juggle. That's going to be another fight or a shutdown before it even started.
Yeah, that is such a good point. And Snow has really been popping off on this Cassidy. Already just about to get their Deadeye on board. And that's the first one we're going to see from any body on either team. The Gumbies swapping over now to the Winston's going to give a lot more cleave. They're going to do a full swap over to a double bubble composition. So likely they were getting poked out a little too hard, and they're just looking to get a little bit more cleave damage and a little bit more presence on point.
That will definitely be very good for them. Will help them out quite a bit. The overinvestment of the turrets, though, on the right side is going to make it a little hard for Periot to hold this point. But Lek finally getting some payback there onto Snow, and they are just going to let loose.
That they are with a couple more kills. That's going to be this point flipping in favor of Tengu's JJ crew. First time they're going to be able to get it, but Periot already has about 70% on the board. They have to be feeling pretty good about this.
Yeah, I just feel so bad for that Tengu didn't set up a goal for environmentals, and Periot did, because they've been racking up environmentals this entire matchup thus far. We will see the teleporter invested to get on point, but it's gonna be a quick coming back in.
Yeah, excellent play there from Snow, but Lex coming in with a triple kill barrage. That's going to seal the deal. Tengu's JJ crew, despite the flip coming in, got to retake control of this point.
Wow. So close. Snow, honestly, if they would have had a Lucio on board, a little bit of a speed boost to get around that corner, they probably could have shut down that barrage before they lost anyone. I was actually a little surprised that barrage got value on Snow as well, who was kind of a little out of the line of sight. But with ultimates online, Tengu's has everything they need to hold this point.
And with an excellent primal environmental coming out from the Gumbies, it's going to start things off well. Lekt goes to go down, so there is a counter pick. Zaf commits now the nano boost onto their team. But it's Interstellar getting a tremendous amount of value, and largely being ignored on the Zarya. That's really turning things around for Periot. 60% or so going to be on the board, but Periot's going to come out with control over this unless Spooty can come up with a major play here. But it doesn't look like that's going to be in the cards.
Yeah, the immortality field just ended up shutting down any plan that they had. I know that move all too well. The Kamikaze Zarya, you graviton, bubble yourself at full charge, and then you just spam the ground with your right click. and then it hopefully takes everybody out. But unfortunately, that immortality field makes it a little bit more difficult to get that payoff. With overtime now ticking away, they have one final shot to be able to get into this point. Somebody's got touch.
Yeah, that they do, and crucially as well, nobody has any ultimates online. Who's going to be able to get there first right now? Period. Coming away with the kills they need. Lekt going to have to try and touch point at the last moment. They have the barrage ready to go. Can they do anything? No, they're not going to be able to. And Period gotta come away with the map win on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, that was incredibly close right there, but it really just came down to the point sustain. And I talk
Mm-hmm.
about that a lot, especially on payload maps where you have the dive coming in, is that you can't protect the objective if you're constantly kind of advancing and roaming around. You know, somebody's got to be on that payload. Gumby's coming in with a play of the game right there. So once again, no love for Periot this time around, unfortunately. But they still got plenty of time. They did get the map win, so that's going to be $10 donated by the team
Yep.
to the ABK Strike Fund. Be sure be hitting that exclamation donate in chat. We're getting as many updates as do come in on the sheet because who knows, there could have been more donations than we even know
Right.
about if they
Yeah,
hadn't filled
exactly.
out the sheet just yet. So
And you
be
know,
sure to
I
be
want to
go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Be sure to be donating. Was all I was gonna say. So
Oh yeah, excellent. And to give you a little help, in case you don't know how much to donate, um, the average donation we've received so far is $5. But
mhm.
let's be honest, you don't want to be just average, do you? So hit that donate button, see if you can throw us a 10 or a 20. It's not too much money, but it's gonna be a hell of a lot of help for these Activision Blizzard employees. If you've got enough money to spend on a Starbucks, then considering
Mhm.
spending that amount to throw the Activision Blizzard employees to throw it their way. So thank you so much once again to everybody who's donated, and let's keep them running in. Let's get that $1,000 mark tonight. But speaking about marks tonight, there is one mark down right now for Tengu's JJ crew. Period coming
Mhm.
away with the win. That means that Tengu's has to come away with a win on this next map. Their backs are against the wall. If they hope to stay in this tournament and make it to the grand finals, they have to come away with a win right here.
That's true, and thankfully they do get map advantage here. And typically in tournaments like these, usually it's defined by the map pool, but they actually have free reign of pretty much every
Yes.
competitive map that they want to choose from. They just can't go back to control. So,
Right.
or actually, I think maybe they can. I'm not for certain if
Oh,
that's
is this
correct.
is
I
this
just don't think
that's
they can replay the same map twice. So they might have even more
interesting.
control than I think. But
Haha, I
nevertheless,
see what you
ideally,
did there.
yeah. Nevertheless, I feel that ideally for the compositions that they want to run, I think Escort is the best way to go. Maybe going for something like Havana or Rialto, maybe even Junkertown, something that has a lot of space for them to work with this dive or double bubble composition. They've been trying to get it going all night long, although the strongest comp that we've seen them on so far has been their double shield with the Rhine Sigma. So
Yes.
maybe opting for, I hate to say it because, you know, as a caster, see it all the time, but go to King's Row. I mean, that's going to be the best place for a composition like that. And
Hey!
wouldn't you know it, I made it all the way around because I should know better by this point. If we're going to hybrid, we are going to King's Row.
Yep, that is true. If Kings Row, and this is again the most classic start I feel like you could possibly have. Lijiang Tower to Kings Row can't get more classic than that. Both of these maps, big fan favorites, so not surprised at all to see this. And I think you're right. I imagine we may see a bit more of that double shield coming out from Tengus, especially because I believe they will be on the defense to start out once again. So once we load into the map, we'll be able to get a sneak peek into what they are thinking, what their minds are plotting against this Period crew that has them against the ropes 1-0.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too worried about the composition that they're going to be necessarily coming out with. I'm more interested in what Period is going to be
Mm-hmm.
opting themselves into. They've actually gone ahead and locked themselves on the defense this time
Mm.
around, so that is going to give them the opportunity to kind of draw the line in the sand. And it looks
Mm-hmm.
like we're going to be going the traditional, the OG here. The Cassidy May coming in with the brawl, definitely not anything that we're not used to seeing on this map. Although Afro playing around with the Doomfist is kind of a make or break with this composition. Whether they're actually going to lock that in or not, we'll find out here shortly. But it's kind of a double-edged sword. Afro on that Doom, if they can get that single pick potential, can really shut down kind of this death ball comp. But they're also very individualistic in the way that their plays are being made, and they can get picked off really easily, turning the fight into Periot's favor.
That is very true. We're gonna see it all play out here shortly. Newbie alert, she gets stunned, goes down very low. Afro as well tries to go in for an engagement, but has to fall out. Speaking of falling, it's gonna be Pokane falling back to spawn first. So Periot's hold on this point looking a little tenuous at the moment. Tengu's JJ crew doing a good job of pushing in so far. Big charge coming in. Snow gonna be able to get a lot of shots into them though, and that's gonna be the Gumbies meeting their demise right here. But Tengu's JJ crew just about got one tick on board. When you're getting trades like this, it is always in favor of the attackers. Their spawn is so close. They're gonna come away with a tick, but that might be it for this first engagement.
Yeah, thankfully they do at least have Zoolander still on that objective, so the support is what's going to force Tengu's JJ crew back for now, along with that pick on to Spoody right there. They're gonna have to wait for that. But first tick on the board in the first minute, not half bad. Afro already up to that meteor strike as well. So if they can get them grouped up, this could be super beneficial to them to get a load of damage. Maybe even call out that immortality field early.
Yeah, that is an excellent point. They have the amplification matrix out to start things out. Here comes that meteor strike now, waiting for that bubble to go down, and now they're gonna pounce. Couple of picks coming in for Tengu's JJ crew, but we have a Deadeye on board from Snow to try and stop things. They're gonna get Afro very low, take him out of the fight as well, but this is still going heavily in favor of Tengu's. They're gonna get another tick on the board. We're likely gonna see the third.
Yeah, the great thing about that is that, oh, that's unfortunate. Thankfully, they just used Meteor Strike right there.
Yeah.
You know, you were seeing that double-edged sword kind of playing out, but thankfully, just like running Wrecking Ball on King's Row, Doomfist is a major distraction to the enemy team as well. And you could just see Tengu's JJ crew taking advantage of that. They were able to solidify on the objective, really push off the rest of Periot, and, you know, be able to get those first couple of picks, even though you didn't see that value coming out from the Doomfist necessarily. It was a distraction enough for a majority of the team so that they were investing resources on a singular character vice the rest of the team. Once we get back into this, I think it's pretty solid to say that this point is going to go to the side of Tengu's JJ crew. If I remember correctly, it was around 2 minutes when the pause came in. So that's going to be 4:30 on the clock. Definitely not a bad time to push through the streets. And if they can keep that momentum going quickly, then it might be super beneficial to them when they get to Objective Charlie, where that time bank really counts.
Yeah, that is so true. As much as you can end with going into point 3 is ideal. Newbie alert, biting off a little more than she can chew right there. We're going to see a blizzard coming out from Pokane to try and allow their team time to regroup and get a pick of their own.
Ant Matrix, definitely a little questionable there from Zaf. I know that they're trying to keep their advantage here by pushing up, but they have to remember that they're close to the enemy spawn, and without their Reinhardt, they're going to have a really difficult time kind of holding on. Lect is going to get picked off and will pay for that costly mistake, and that's going to run quite a bit of time off the bank.
Yeah, and especially look at the ultimate usage coming out from Tengu's as well. They have spent everything now, yet Periot has still got control over this point. Graviton Surge coming in from Interstellar, that's going to yield to a few kills, and Periot going to be able to hold strong right at Bookshop.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a lot of, I hate to say it, kind of newbie costly mistakes right there by Tengu's. They got over aggressive. Instead of being at the cart and waiting for their tank to get back, they had a couple get picked off because they were trying to continue to hold their spot. And now they've given up so much space that they can't even get past the Bookshop.
Yeah, that's right. But they've got a blizzard coming in to try and help things out. Snow going to have to let their Deadeye go a little bit early. Immortality field out to try and save people. but it's got to be Tengu's coming away with the first pick. Make that the first 3. This point, this cart, firmly under their control once again.
That was a beautiful work there from Lek. Not only being able to put the Blizzard in the right position, but also put up the May wall just in time to prevent the Shatter coming out from Newbie Alert. It ended up keeping their team in the fight, and it was a quick rotation. They were still able to follow up very easily on that Blizzard, and with a single investment, they're gonna have plenty to work with here. Afro with that Meteor Strike once again. A Fat Shatter from Gumbies could lay out objective 2 right here.
That it could. Blizzard coming out once again, but this time from Poke, and they're gonna find value with it. Pick on either side, though. That means this fight is definitely not over. And with Afro going in very aggressively, we're likely going to see a Meteor Strike coming out soon as well. Either to escape or to try and finish off these kills they're looking for. They're going to let it rip right onto Bingo, but they hit the Bingo right there and were able to jump out of the way. And Period, once again, coming up with a hold.
Yeah, that just came down to the Graviton Surge of Interstellar. They were able to group up the remainder of the team. Most of the folks could focus on Afro, kind of zooming all over the place, and Newbie Alert was just allowed to swing into the Grav and be able to get that beautiful double kill with Interstellar. They don't have anything in the bank right now, though, except for a support ultimate. So unless that Deadeye comes online, it's going to be a little hard to keep Tengu's at bay.
That it is. Shatter thrown out from the Gumbies, and it lands, catches 3. But crucially, Zoolander was there with the beat. It's not going to be enough to save Snow, though. Newbie Alert falling as well, and Tengu's JJ crew will, in fact, see the last checkpoint on King's Row.
I'm really kind of interested in the fact that Tengu's has made it this far in the tournament. I don't know if it's just that, like, it's the first match of the day or whatnot, but there's a lot of overcommitment coming out from Tengu's. A lot of ultimates that they could be staggering out to use for next fights, and they just don't. They just kind of overcommit. And, continuing to see Afro on this, yes, like, they're getting picks, but they're not getting the full value. They had 4.5 minutes moving into Objective Bravo, and now they've only got 2, and that's with the additional time in the bank.
Yeah, that's not nearly the place that you want to be when you're entering this final checkpoint. Newbie Alert finding a Fire Strike onto Aster. She goes back to spawn, and with this, Period once again holds.
Rip.
Lots of kills coming in, but only a couple in favor of Tengu's. They're gonna need to do better than this.
That's true, and Snow has the Deadeye on the line as well. It's really questionable as to whether or not Afro is going to stick on this Doomfist or not. They do have the Meteor Strike online, but not really a lot to combo with it, to be completely honest. They might use it to escape, as they've been doing, and single out a particular individual. But with only a minute on the clock, that focus is gonna have to be onto Zoolander right there.
Nice Graviton Surge coming out from Interstellar, but it's going to be Tengu's coming up with the initial kill once again. Snow going for a Deadeye, but everybody runs to the high hills, and now beat committed by Aster. She wants her team to go in hard and aggressive, and that is exactly what they're doing. Aster going in very hard on that, or Afro going in very hard on that Doomfist. Interstellar going to be taken out of the fight. And now it's just Bingo with an amplification matrix that they have to try and hold off this aggression coming out from Tengu's. Less than 30 seconds on the clock right now. And Tengu's looking fantastic. Zoolander comes out with the sound barrier as well to try and keep their team in this, but it's just not quite going to be enough. Afro and the rest of Tengu's JJ crew going to be able to cap this point, but can they do it with time? They've got the picks coming in, but they've got to get them all before these 5 seconds goes down. Afro looking for that Meteor Strike, he finds it in just under 3 seconds on the clock for the completion from Tengu's.
That was absolutely beautiful work there from Tengu's, but even more even more beautiful from Periot. Being able to run down such an extensive time bank really
Mm-hmm.
worked out into their favor, and it really just comes down to the meta picks that they were going with. Snow on that Cassidy has just been an absolute thorn in Afro's side, and you constantly see Afro trying to go after them first. Sometimes successful, sometimes not so much, and that hit or miss is really kind of tempering the aggression that is coming out from Tengu's JJ crew. They get shut down so early, it makes it so difficult for them to continue pushing forward into this 5v6 over and over again. Afro still committed to using that Doomfist, feels that it's working out better than a Cassidy or any other hero that you possibly could be playing on King's Row right now. Even a Symmetra right now would still be beneficial for that CC control and damage, but they're gonna have to be a little bit more mindful. I do want to see Spoody investing a little bit more of those bubbles onto Afro, so if they do go in on Snow, it isn't a 1v1. They have a little bit of protection when they're diving in, so that if the flashbang comes out, they're still able to get out of it successfully.
We're going to see how well that's going to go on defense right now. Periot rotating around the Mondada statue looking for an engagement, but already newbie alert. She is set back to spawn. Excellent uppercut to finish things off from Afro. And with that, Periot just backs away.
Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot that they could do right there. That's that single pick potential there that Doomfist has to start things off very quickly. And these May walls, gotta be careful.
Yeah, you do indeed. That was very aggressive coming out from Tengus, but they were able to get away with it and kite back to point, forcing Periot to use a lot of resources along the way. Snow goes for a flashbang, but there's a May wall in the way. Spoody, however, and the Gumbies combining for a couple of big kills onto Periot, and Tengu's JJ crew looking solid right now with this ult.
There we go. The Gumbies are really showing up right now, just taking advantage of the space that is kind of being given to them. I mean, Aster is able to kind of speed boost them in and out of this aggression. That Maywall, though, might make things a little bit difficult for them to get reset up for this next fight.
Especially with that amplification matrix coming out as well. People falling from Period T like flies right now. They just haven't been able to really even get to the choke unscathed.
Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous though, Juggle. I see this in my comp games far too often that when teams get a little bit too big for their britches, they think that they're doing amazing, and then all of a sudden you end up seeing them go down. Definitely not a good position to be in.
No, that is true, but No was not in a good position either, and they will be sent back to spawn after coming away with a nice meteor strike right there. Blizzard going to be committed by Poke, but once again, they find their demise at the hands of their doppelganger this time.
Yeah, we will see the pick come in onto the Gumbies, though, and their spawn's quite a bit further away. Tengus, if they're smart, they're going to back up to the Alderworth, give some space between them and Period so that they can get their full 6 before this next fight.
Yeah, the Gumbies is able to make it back in time, so unfortunately they're not going to be able to make it in. Oh, we do have a solo ult from Afro, so that is going to be a $5 donation coming in from Tengus. But right now, Tengus looking a little worse for wear as Afro finally has been neutralized. Period. Getting the picks they need, they're going to push forward and take the first checkpoint.
But that was a good time bank run right there, able to run down the entire clock almost, only a minute remaining, and pretty much get Period to force swap a lot of the characters that they ended up coming out with to start things off. Is really working to be beneficial in Tengu's favor. As long as we continue to see this coordination between Afro and Spoody, that's been working out very well, keeping those stuns at bay with those bubbles, we're going to continue to see a lot of value coming out of Tengu's setup.
Yeah, we certainly are. It has been a tremendous, Afro in particular, has been a tremendous thorn in the side of Period. They just haven't been able to deal with him and what's going on in the front line. Amplification Matrix committed now. Hook comes in, almost catches Afro, but they're still going to be able to escape at least temporarily. But once again, the damage has been done, and Tengu's just looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah, it's just coming down once again to those early picks that keep coming out there, like trying to get up into the window
Yeah,
unsuccessfully. But
it was a
they
good
are
idea.
going to be able to relatively hold with this blizzard. Normally, I would say you want to back up to the bookstore, but they have control of the choke, and that blizzard is going to help them out in a lot of different ways.
Especially now that the amplification matrix is out from newbie alert. She wants to get as much damage as possible going into Tengu's after she pops the sound barrier as well to keep their team alive, and it's a good thing because they're able to get the picks they need once again. Interstellar, though, finds some success with a whole hog, so things aren't over yet for Period. They're gonna, in fact, turn this around, as it looks like the Gummies has committed a little bit too far. Bob gonna be thrown out as well to secure this for sure.
Well, the rally that is coming out is going to allow them to continue to push in here, and the aggression forces back Tengus. They took a little bit too many picks. This Ant Matrix, though, might allow them to continue to sustain around the bookstore right now, as long as Gumby's doesn't go too far in, thankfully. I love Lect using the Maywall just in case their Ryan decided to charge into Oblivion right there, as we know all Ryans enjoy doing. Minute 20 remaining on the clock right now, Juggle, and Tengu's set up for success right now. I love the swap and the way that they've been working things. You know, they've been staggering out ultimates. They've been planning their plays. Definitely a lot different than their attack series.
That is true. They seem to be a lot more measured in their approaches right here. Snow, though, gets a triple Deadeye kill for Period. That's going to crack this point wide open and give them at least enough cart progress to make it to the final point in this second stage of King's Row.
Yeah, that stagger not going to be good for Zaf right there. But even with 3 on the cart, we are going to see a recontest from Tengu's, even possibly enough time for Zaf to get back in the fight as well. It's all going to be about coordination here, with no ultimates on the field except for the Shatter and possibly the Ant Matrix. Should it be earned up, it is desperation time for Tengu's if they want to lock this down without adding time to the clock.
That is true. That's going to be close, though. The Bob is out and already providing a lot of problems. Zaf goes down early on, but not before they're able to get that amplification matrix out. Interstellar finds another pick, so Period looking primed to capture this. But what a shatter coming in from the Gummies. They're going to be able to clear away the point. They're going to start swinging that rocket hammer. Can they find the kills they need? Pokane goes down low, but the rest of Period going to be able to push through.
Yeah, there was just too much sustain on that objective, unfortunately. Zoolander was getting a lot of value on that brig, and we weren't seeing a lot of focused fire there from the Gumbies. They were trying to chase after the squishies, which normally I would recommend doing, but it was taking them out of line of sight of their healers, which was making it a lot more difficult to keep them alive. Now they're going to have to hold on to this choke point. Only a minute on the clock. This Deadeye's got to get some value.
That it does. And it does, as a matter of fact. The hook is going to come in. But the kills have been overwhelmingly in favor of Tengu's JJ crew. An excellent Deadeye there, despite getting hooked off the map.
That's going to be another $5 donation there from Period.
Right.
Interstellar getting the first environmental kill of the many we've seen thus far from Tengu's. Definitely a good way to go. Might have been another one right there. Really close.
Yeah, that was very close. Lex getting dangerously close as well to this blizzard, which could really be a fight-winning ultimate right here. Snow gonna use the Deadeye once again to try and create some space, and they do in spades! 13 seconds left on the clock. They may not be able to finish with time, but if they're able to finish at all, then each team's gonna get a minute, and they'll have an opportunity to try and come away with a map win right here. Period wants to end it here and now, but the overtime wick has started to churn.
That's true, and we're not seeing any swaps off either. Afro has opted into the Echo to get a little bit more damage in, but there are a lot of ultimates on the side of Tengu's. All it's going to take is one.
Wow, and a nice shatter coming in from Gumby. Can they get the kills off it?
Spoony!
What was that? That was absolutely tremendous. That's going to seal this fight. For sure for Tengu JJ crew. They're going to even up the series at one apiece, and Oh my god, I want to see that again. That
That
was
was
incredible.
nasty. That was
Yeah.
nasty. The shatter goes down. Blizzard freezes them on the ground, and Spooty
Oh,
just
here it is.
meow,
It's
just
gotta be.
zips
It's
right
gotta
in
be.
and pushes everyone off the side. Look at this. This is absolutely beauty in the making. Just lines it up. Zoom.
Oh my gosh. That was tremendous.
Oh,
Absolutely
good.
tremendous. I cannot believe that last. That was just
Yeah.
a pleasure to watch. You don't normally see diva environmental kills, right?
Hmm.
You don't typically see them, but when they come about, they're absolutely spectacular. And a triple, that's just about unheard of. That's going to be my play of the tournament so far, if I'm being
Yeah.
perfectly honest, right there.
I, yeah, just gonna have to rename their diva player Street Sweeper at this point because that's exactly the kind of play that you got right there. But the big plays are really coming down to you at home right now. I believe we've earned up about $25 between the teams during that last map, which
Yes.
is great, but you can donate individually at home as well. Hit that exclamation donate in the chat. We'll give you a link to the ABK Strike Fund, as we've been talking about all weekend long. You can donate directly. This is to a fund for the strike that's going on at Activision Blizzard right now. Remember, during strikes, a lot of employees are either not getting paid, or they're unfortunately laid off because of loopholes and rules and union busting and all sorts of stuff that's going on there that should not be going down
Yeah.
for a company that has produced such an amazing game for us. So help us support those that bring us these amazing games by donating at the link below. These are the most recent big donations that we've gotten
Yes.
coming in. A couple of anonymous donations here, two $50 donations saying based Lunikir coming in, which if you didn't know, Lunikir has been the one that kind of brought us all together for this
Yes.
event. So big shout out to her and all the amazing work that she's been doing. And highest donation that's come in so far is 2 tons of salt with $50. With the message, "Good job, Luna and team." We appreciate all those donations coming in. And if I understand that all correctly, Juggle, that brings us at least I don't know the exact total, but that brings us over $900 now. So we
Yeah.
are very, very close, getting that much closer to our $1,000 goal. And remember, we don't have to stop there. This is the last night, folks. So get in all you can with those donations. But getting back to the match at hand, with everything now kind of on the table, and
Mm-hmm.
Tengu showing that they're not willing to go quietly into that sweet night. Juggle, I really don't have a clue of where we could possibly be going next. That Brawl could be as dominant as we've seen this far, because we haven't really seen much else come out from Period.
No, we haven't. They seem to be just brawl all day long right now. And it failed them on King's Row, and it failed them on Control Center as well. The only times they have found success with a brawl is when it hasn't been a mirror matchup, right?
Mhm.
When it has been Tengu's going on to that dive composition. So I'm surprised to be saying this, but I wonder if we maybe don't go somewhere where they can tempt them with a dive composition. We've already seen a hybrid map. Maybe we go to Gibraltar?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's a possibility, but you have to weigh it. Is that going to be playing into Tengu's hands a little too much?
I
Because they
mean,
have this propensity to run the dive. But no, we are heading
ooh,
back
we're locking
to
in another
another hybrid map.
hybrid. Okay.
Yeah, going to
Huh.
Hollywood.
All
So you know
right.
what? This has that potential. It has the potential to tempt Tengus onto the dive, right? Because it can be very strong second phase here.
That's absolutely true, Juggle, but we could see the Rush come out here. The Rush is just about as dominant. It's not as agile on Hollywood because of all the high ground advantage, but if your team is as coordinated as we saw Tengu's on round 2 of King's Row, then I wouldn't say that it's something that couldn't work here. It's all
Right.
about really utilizing Aster to their full potential. You know, working that speed boost in time and time again to make sure that every time that they're moving, they're taking full advantage of the speed that they have available to them. Period is going to go on the attack first, so Tengu's looking to hold maybe a closer defense this time around. Don't want to give any possible opportunities to Periot, like we saw on King's Row, and probably give themselves a better angle to work with. But Tengu's is swapping things up entirely and opting for this double shield. Aster gonna have a little bit of a difficult time here on that Brigitte. Not going to get a lot of value until folks start getting into the objective. But I'm guessing that they're anticipating this Wrecking Ball coming out from Burb, who is now coming in for Newbie on the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, interesting composition swaps coming out. We do have, um, yeah, we do have Burb in the lineup for the first time, and I imagine you're right. They could be a Wrecking Ball specialist bringing them in here onto this map, because Wrecking Ball can be quite effective here, you know, and especially when you're running into a double shield composition like this. Gonna see a lot of harassment starting from Periot as they begin to surround this point and surround Tengu's JJ crew. That's gonna be their key to success here. Hard engagement coming in from Bird, takes out the Immortality field. Bingo finds a kill onto Afro as well. That's really gonna open things up, and now we see this incredible aggression coming out from Periot. They're gonna come away with this first point on their first attack.
I love that patience. Just the absolute patience that Period had to get everyone in position, get the immortality out, and then when Burb came in on the slam, they didn't even focus on the team, right? They ended up slamming on top of the boxes, which took out the immortality field specifically, so that the rest of the team would be able to utilize that, whether that be on purpose or by accident, is what worked out in favor of Period. And now they're going to be able to take this high ground advantage, but Afro might clean them off of it before they have a chance to really lock it down.
Yeah, and with Burb going out of the fight as well, this initial push is now over. Interstellar goes down low, but they've got a breather that they can take. Okay, now try to put a lot of pressure onto Afro, and it seems that Period doesn't really want to let these picks affect them. A couple more come in favor of Tengu's, but Lect is out of the fight as well, and with the spawn advantage heavily in Period's favor, I think that eventually this is going to swing their direction.
I was doing really good at taking out tracers until I got a pulse bomb to the knee there, Juggle. That's pretty much how Lect is feeling right now. But this Dragon Strike might open things up if it got off.
Yeah, and here it comes. It's gonna, both of them actually committed right now, but it's gonna be Afro drawing first blood. Minefield committed by Burb to try and split up Tengu's team, but they're holding on for dear life. Bingo commits the Transcendence as well as Burb gets a pick onto the main tank. Now we're in dangerous territory for Tengu's, and they begin to back up as the rest of their team falls.
They've actually got still quite a bit of space to work with, but that time bank is what worries me right now, Juggle. There's a lot of time that needs to be shaved off right here, and once you get into the studio, it makes it a lot more difficult for the defending team, at least until you get to the to where the VIP spot is for them to lock that down. If they want kind of this extra space to utilize, they've got to get this locked out right here.
That they do, but they're having a hard time of it. But Bingo is out of the fight now, and they have committed the supercharger as well. The kills, though, still coming in favor of Tengu's JJ crew. Never mind, they are going down by the wayside as this spin-to-win maneuver from Burb yields a lot of disruption and sows a lot of confusion as well. Self-destruct coming out from Spooty, not going to catch anybody, but it's going to briefly clear the point, but it's not going to be long enough to stymie this attack from Period.
Yeah, it's going to be just enough to be able to push them back. Unfortunately, the picks just weren't coming in. A lot of disruption coming out from Burb, but being a distraction only works as if the rest of your team is getting picks.
Yep.
That's going to shave quite a bit of time off that bank, but Lect coming onto this Cassidy has been a game changer. Almost got that one, very close. But, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of those come in. Beautiful stick. Oh, what?
The
Oh,
immortality was
save.
there.
Beautiful.
Wow, excellent reaction time there from Zaf to save their teammate, because that was a kill for sure. Excellent stick coming out from Pokane, but just not going to be in the cards this time around. Tengus, though, looking a little rough in their old bank. This supercharger from the Gumbies is going to have to be big, but crucially, it's going to allow the rest of the team to build their ultimates. Pokane goes down dangerously low. Lect almost taking them out of the fight. Here comes an engagement from Burb to try and start things out for a period, and a Dragon Strike is going to yield some success early on. And now with Interstellar using that whole hog to push everybody away, Period is making mincemeat out of the rest of Tengu's JJ crew.
Yeah, I mean, that just ended up being beautifully focused. The Dragon Strike covered all the objective, and they didn't notice until it was far too late that Interstellar had ripped out the whole hog and was pushing everybody against the wall and into that Dragon Strike as they tried to escape. There's only 3 minutes on the clock right now, so they did a good job of running down that time bank quite a bit. But Period have the advantage right now. They're able to take control of that high ground with the late picks that came in onto Tengu's. It's going to be up to Tengu's if they want to hold outside of this last point to be able to retake control of that.
Yeah, but already we have an excellent engagement coming in from Burb, giving this high ground over to Snow and the rest of the Period team.
Oh!
Lect able to find a nice pick, though, and the duplicated whole hog getting value as well. Gonna be hooked in, but they're only gonna go back to their natural echo state. And with these picks coming out in favor of Tengus, they're gonna be able to hold on to the defense for at least a moment or two. Wow, Pokane to one. Literally one.
Oh, you can feel the cheeks just clenching right there, Juggle. Absolutely. Every single time when you're just barely able to get away. If you play Overwatch or any game that requires an amount of health by any means, that barely being able to secure that is beautiful. Beautiful shutdown to start things off.
Yeah, the immortality field there once again for the save. So these Baptistes have been on the money with that ability. Afro getting trying to take an opposite angle here, but with two members of their team down, it's gonna be very tough. Spooty demeched as well. Period on the prowl. They're gonna look, they are primed to finish this point as Burb engages again. Now they're starting to stuff the choke, and with this kind of engagement coming in, and Tengu's not being able to get any purchase on the point, I believe we're going to see a cap in very short order here. Just about a meter left to go, and that does it.
I was about to say, Juggle, 18 seconds on the clock is all they needed to run down just in case they ended up getting locked under time. Now they have to get some time on this bank. If they end up in overtime on their attack, Tengus could find themselves in a world of hurt. They did a great job holding that defense, though. The fact that they were able to get it down to a minute 10 after first objective was taken so quickly definitely provides a lot of benefits for their team. The question on everybody's minds right now is, what are Tengu's crew gonna do about that wrecking ball? I mean, they've pulled out a lot of stuns to take care of Burb, but Burb has still not been slowed down. Same thing coming out with Pokane as well. You know, a couple of times we've seen Lect being able to solidify the elimination, but then you see other times where Pokane gets away with like a sliver of health, literally down to one, and you're not able to finalize that elimination. So what is going to be the call here from Tengu's crew to kind of turn this tide and make things a little bit easier for them, as Period opting for the rock and roll this time around with Interstellar coming out on that Sigma?
Yeah, you know, Burb really is the word right now for Period. They came out with this wrecking ball, and we weren't expecting it either. I mean, we, like we were talking about before this match, it had just been, you know, brawl for Period, but they're really showing that they can be dominant on any composition they choose to run out with. Got an early pick on the Zap, but they're going to be able to respawn in very short order. Poke now looking for another pick on them. They're going to try and take down this Zenyatta once again, but they go down dangerously low. They're going to be forced to use that recall to stay alive, but now that they've got that orb on them, things are going to be tough. Nice little NYXL spray right there while they wait for that Discord orb to go away from them. But in the meantime, there's been a lot of progress made by Tengus. They're pushing up hard. They do have Zoolander out of the fight, and without them there to hold things down on the healing end, it's going to be tough for Bingo to keep their team alive.
Elect apparently taking a page from Pokane's book right there, going down incredibly low. But Pokane has been in this back line the whole time, and that is why Tengus has not been able to push in. They knew as soon as they turned their back that Pokane was going to be shoving those pistols right up it. And as you see, as soon as they started dedicating to forcing the objective, Pokane just came in and cleaned everything up.
Yeah, Pokane has been getting more than just poke value on this Tracer. They have been getting a lot of kills on it, but they're going to be forced out of the back line now. They're going to have to wait on the side as the rest of their team going to have to pick up this mantle for at least a moment until they can find another way to rotate behind this Tengus team. But look at that, Burb was behind them instead, coming in with a surprise slam. They're going to be taken out, though, by Spooty, the natural enemy of a hamster in a mecha suit right there. With that pick, things are looking a little tough. Bingo forced to use that Transcendence to try and keep themselves up, but look at this. Interstellar comes out with a pick on the Spooty right during their whole hog as well. Snow gonna let loose with a Dragon Strike as well. That's gonna cause some minor problems as Afro has to use that Ice Block, and that gives them just enough time to be surrounded by the rest of Period.
Yeah, Pokane getting a lot of value on this Tracer right now, and Lect trying to mirror that as well, but Pokane's just got this on lock right now. It's going to be down to Tengus to really turn this tide with a minute 30 remaining on the clock. They got to come out with a composition that works. You know, maybe get a little death ball-y, bring out that diva play.
Yeah, because right now, what they are trying just is not working. They've got both support ultimates online. The Gummies crucially has the Gravitic Flux as well, so this is probably not an ult you want to throw away. You probably want to try and get value with this, so Tengus is going to remain on this composition. And I think they're going to be on it for the remainder of this map, because changing out now, that's just going to shoot yourself in the foot. Here comes a big Gravitic Flux, though, from Interstellar. They are going to strike first. And Pokane gets a double post-bomb kill. And look at that. Both support ultimates were expended by Tengus, but for naught.
That hurts, Juggle. I mean,
yeah.
you saw the writing on the wall as much as I did. Gravitic Flux from Interstellar, Burb comes underneath and lays everything down on the ground with the minefield. And if we didn't get you with any of those two, then here comes Pokane to go ahead and get the stick and clean it up right on after that with less than a minute on the clock. If they don't swap, I'm going to say that this is going to be really rough. They don't have the support ultimates online, but a lot of others, though, in a beautiful opening.
That there is, but there has been a counter pick. There's no Afro to be found for Tengu's JJ crew, but they are starting to get progress here. They have a couple of picks. Aster out of the fight, though. That's going to make things a lot more difficult. It's going to be up to Zap to keep their team alive, and right now they've got the stick from Pokane once again. 2 ticks on the board, though, for Tengus. Burb is back in the fight, though, to try and stall things out along with Interstellar. Lek, though, combining for some tremendous kills on that Tracer. This is all but over on this point. Tengus JJ crew will live to fight another day.
They gotta be able to get that final tick first, and they gotta avoid a lot of these mines right now, which is making it a little difficult. They are able to lock it down. Finally, thankfully, Pokane wasn't able to get a lot of value out of that minefield, kind of isolating where they could be standing on the objective. But their backs are against the wall right now, Juggle. They've got to put this cart into overdrive if they want to even hope to be able to get to Objective Charlie at this point.
Yeah, that is very true, and they've got Pokane to get through, who has just been tremendous on Hollywood so far. They know this map to a T, it seems.
Yeah.
Zap, they are about to get the Transcendence online, but look at that! Interstellar with a tremendous Gravitic Flux. gonna open things wide open for Period, and that's gonna burn a significant amount of time off this clock for Tengus.
Like, if it tells anybody anything about how much damage Period has been pumping out, Interstellar got those eliminations on the upswing of the gravitic flux. It wasn't even on the downswing. It wasn't on the slam. It was on the upswing of that gravitic flux. And then they got the finalization onto Gumby's afterwards. So if that says anything about how absolutely insane the damage coming out from Period has been, and with that initial pick on Deburb, they actually might be able to clear these streets relatively easily.
A nice hook comes in, though, from Spooty, but they're not going to be able to handle what came with it, which was a hell of a lot of damage from Period. Tengu's JJ crew, though, still holding on. They've got the rally, and that's proving very difficult for the rest of Period to handle. The Gumby's gone over to this Wrecking Ball now, finding a tremendous amount of value as well. This could be their answer to what Period has been throwing at them.
Yeah, I think Gumby's eventually was like, oh, so you think you good Wrecking Ball player? Well, I can do that. I can be good Wrecking Ball player too. And we'll see what happens. With the minefield already online, they just swapped a Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, that's an incredible value you're already getting on the Gumbies, but the true value coming in from Period right now. Interstellar trying desperately to keep away that damage coming in from an ulting Spooty, and they are able to do it. But Afro is there to clean things up for the rest of Tengu's JJ crew. With time getting very close. Period coming out with a big hold. This could be it. There's just overtime, and nobody even touches. Period gonna come away with the win. They're gonna go on to the grand finals to meet friends and pals.
Yeah, there was really just nothing that they could do there, Juggle. I mean, the minefield was littered all over the objective. We had already seen the Icicle come out, so their only desperation play that they could have had that could have worked out in their favor was being able to have the Mei Ice Block on the objective, and that just wouldn't have been enough either way. The spawn was so far away. Tengus, you did an incredible job. You've been an incredible support through this tournament, but it's time to bid a fond farewell to y'all as we go ahead and see Period face off against friends and pals in the grand finals.
And this is sure to be a banger. Both of these teams have really shown their mettle throughout this tournament. I'm excited to see what they're both going to bring to the table. And we get to see a little bit more because this is going to be a 1st to 3 for our grand finals. So, got a lot more Overwatch coming our way, Captain Jack. And some more donations as well. We got a little bit of an update from our production crew. We were only $72 away from our goal of $1,000. Take that back. We are a little bit closer. Hold on. $77 away. $77 away from that donation. Our latest coming in from Scooter. Thank you so much for that $40. Amazing donation. Let's keep them coming. We are getting very close.
I agree with Scooter. Let's go! This is some amazing Overwatch we're seeing here. Before we throw it to a quick break to get ready for this next match, Juggle, I think we need to talk a little bit about player of the match, though. Who did you kind of have your eye on during this matchup?
Well, you know, I want to give it to Spooty for that tremendous play on the D.Va, but I'm gonna need to give it to somebody on Period. And there are just so many great players to choose from, but I think it's gonna have to go to Pokane. Pokane, at least in my eyes, did a tremendous job locking down Hollywood for Period. And without them in the lineup, I think this is a much different looking game.
That's true, and I feel the only other person that could be possibly even match the ferocity that we were seeing is Interstellar on the off tank. I mean, everybody knows that the off tank's job is so difficult to do because not only are you trying to make sure that your team is moving forward and keeping your main tank protected, but you also are the one that's first appeal for your backline as well. You pretty much have to have your head on a swivel, and Interstellar was able to pull that off in spades during this matchup. So we're going to go ahead and send it to a quick break. Don't forget, hit that exclamation donate in the chat to donate directly to the ABK Strike Fund. That's what all this is all about, folks. And we'll see y'all on the other side.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the tournament. Once again, this is a charity tournament for a community for a better ABK. So thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. My name, if you are just joining in, is Warren Jugglegod Hammond, and I am joined on the mic again by Captain Jack.
Oh man, Juggle, it has been already an amazing night of Overwatch, but these grand finals are looking to be just as spicy. Now, if you've been following the last couple of days, you'll know that yesterday, Period actually ended up falling to Friends and Pals in the winners semifinals. Tengu's then fell to them in the winners finals later on, so we weren't exactly for certain which team was going to be most equipped to be able to come back and take them out. But hopefully, with Period set up, warmed up after that first match, despite it being so close, hopefully it won't be a clean sweep. For Friends and Pals, we are also in a first to three situation for the grand finals. So give us a little bit more leeway. Should Period kind of find themselves with their backs against the wall, might be able to turn the tide a little later in the series, maybe hoping to possibly tire out Friends and Pals. But of course, with a new team, that means new donation incentives for that team. So for Friends and Pals, we are going to be seeing these amazing ones coming in. For every map win, they will donate $10, similar to Period. For a full team kill, that'll be another $10. Note, that's not when Friends and Pals gets full team killed, which I think honestly is a little disrespectful. If the enemy team is able to wipe you out, I feel like that should also be a donation. I'm just saying. Then a $10 donation if Lambent dies in the first fight from our team of 6. Only requires Friends and Pals team's first death. So if Lambent dies first in the fight, that's $10, and then $2 for every environmental. That also includes if Friends and Pals just jump off the map. And we've been informed that there is a soft cap at $150 from Lambent, just in case.
That's a lot of faith they're putting in themselves right there, given the cap at 100. What's that?
You gotta 15? Think that's 15 first eliminations in a fight. That's a lot, Juggle. That's a lot.
That is a whole lot. That's a, honestly, I would be impressed if they were able to pull that off. Like, you've got to work.
Yeah, that's got to be a little. That takes a little skill to be out of position that much at the beginning of every fight. That's for sure. But we do not forget, we do have Period coming in with incentives of their own. They'll be giving $10 for every map win, $5 for every play of the game, and $5 for every environmental kill, capped at 5. Well, so far they've only been able to get one environmental and one play of the game there from Interstellar, I believe. I don't believe they got one on King's Row. That was the big diva boob. So they definitely
that was Tengu's. Yeah.
So they are currently up to $30, if I'm understanding that correctly. And I don't know if that even goes, but if this has been since the beginning of the tournament, because if that's the case, whoo-wee, then that's quite a setup going on right there. But both of these teams doing this for charity, willing to throw their grand finals if need be to be able to donate to an amazing cause. We're currently up to $923. Oh, sorry, $973.
Yeah.
Apparently, as the screen updates for all of us. Latest donation coming in from Shelby for $10, saying good luck and great job, Luna. And yes, thank you so much to Luna and the rest of the team for bringing us all together so that we could work so hard for such an amazing cause. If you don't know much about the ABK Strike Fund, be sure to hit !ABK in the chat. We'll take you to an ING article that covers all the information. And based on what I'm hearing, Juggle, it looks like our first map has already been decided. We're going back to Lijiang Tower.
Yes, we are, and I couldn't be happier. This is one of my favorite maps in the game. It's typically my background, but I decided to go to somewhere a little bit different for this matchup, but Lijiang Tower's still high in my heart. We're going to be going to Control Center first. So, of all the 3 submaps, this one plays the most differently. It is so heavily in favor of Brawl. It's hard to run anything else here.
That's really what it kind of comes down to. I mean, you can run the Wrecking Ball Diva, it's some double bubble, but it's all about being able to get into that central objective first, right? You need that space to move. And you can start off well on this map by using that composition if you're able to get the eliminations and take control to start things off. But if you're not, then that really kind of puts your backs against the wall. You have to either get creative because then it's what I like to call whack-a-mole on mecha base. For Busan, you essentially have the other team just running around wildly trying to keep you from going into various doors, but Period already taking a ton of damage to start things off, but gets first pick.
That they do. The Immortality Field has to be committed by Bingo, so despite them getting the first pick out, they are down that crucial ability. So there is an opportunity for Friends and Pals to start pushing in, and they have Poke taken out of the fight. But there's a counter pick onto Aspect, so no Symmetros to be found anywhere. Friends and Pals slowly turning this fight in their favor, though, as they're able to get rid of the main tank, too. And now Zoolander as well. Another counter pick comes in, but look at that! Vanguard already throws out the shatter! That is insane how much damage they have already done. And despite an early pick coming in for Period, it's Friends and Pals who come away with the first fight win.
Okay, Vanguard locking in first fight with the MTD right there to go ahead and get things started. And if I remember correctly, Lambent was the first one picked off. So that's $10 already in the bank of that soft 150 cap. No, didn't see it. I was seeing Junkrat, didn't see that first pick coming in. Unfortunate there. For Period, they're going to have to pull back and try to get their big damage dealing Junkrat back in the fight.
That they are. Lambent now has their tower online. Another shatter thrown out from Vanguard. This one not going to get quite as much value as the previous, but sound barrier committed as well from Zoolander, and now Period coming back with a vengeance. They're going to reclaim, or rather claim this point as their own for the first time.
Yeah, Poke and just having that target focus with that Symmetra beam was definitely what helped them out at the end of all this. Even within the Gravitic Flux, you know, they trusted that that Zoolander was going to be there to be able to drop the beat in time, so they just focused down Joey. But Freenok leading in with the beat to start things off.
Yeah, and that beat's going to allow Friends and Pals to get very aggressive. We already see one pick coming in favor of them, but with Hammy and Freenok both down now, Period looking primed to take this next fight. I think we've got a match on our hands here, Captain Jack.
That is true, Juggle. There's not much more that they can do at this point for Friends and Pals. They got to create that opening for themselves. And I mean, we saw this from Period as well, which is a little interesting to see them not running this double shield. Aspect gonna be picked off first, and possibly still keep this in Period's favor.
Yeah, that looks like they're gonna be able to. Hammy though uses that amplification matrix, and that's gonna make things a lot harder for Period at the moment. We see Interstellar going down very low. They may get demeched as well, but Lambent gonna be taken out first again. That is another $5 donation. And it looks like we also have an environmental kill coming out from Vanguard. That might be 2 because they threw themselves off the map as well. Friends and Pals, despite this going very well for Period early, gonna be able to turn it around in their favor.
That is true, and I believe the goal. I'm not for certain on that. Okay, so it's environmental deaths for their team. So that'll be $12 total. $12 total for Vanguard charging Burb off the map, but Vanguard starting things off strong.
That they are. Throws out another shatter. Lambent gonna have their, or Burb rather, gonna have their shield in the way of it. They've got their own shatter, but they're not gonna have an opportunity to use it. And we are now entering last fight territory.
Yeah, they really got to get back in there. I mean, there's definitely a possibility. Freenok, though, getting a little over aggressive on that Lucio, looking for that boop. that may cost them going into this fight.
It certainly may. Krennic being out of position right there, really unfortunate for their team. Riptire comes in, it's gonna land as well. Shatter from Burb also finding value. Period coming back once again in this fight. This has been so back and forth. A late beat committed now from Krennic. They don't want to let this go. They're gonna try and push back in, but it's gonna be all for naught.
Yeah, that was kind of too little too late there, Juggle.
Yeah.
Freenok is going to be wanting that beat back, and the staggers right now are just coming out. Joey just barely able to get away, and all they're doing now is charging up Pokane's beam.
Yeah, that beam is bursting furiously right now. Picks on either side. The shatter lands from Vanguard, but they're taken out of the fight by Burb. We've got neither main tank to be seen anywhere. Snow swaps over to the Doomfist to try and get back quickly. This fight could go either way. That is until these last few kills start going in favor of the Friends and Pals. Vanguard swapping over to the Wrecking Ball to get back to point. We've got Doomfist in now, though, from Snow. He's going to get a few shields, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. The overtime is starting to tick down, and no one can touch. What a first round of this grand final.
It was so incredibly close, Juggle, and I'm not 100% sure whether or not some of the plays made by Friends and Pals were on purpose or
Right.
for the donations, but nevertheless, it still worked out in their favor. But incredibly close is definitely the word for it. 100 to 99 to start things off, and if you want to get some environmentals, this is definitely the way to do it here on the Gardens. We're possibly going to be seeing some swaps. Looks like both teams are looking to lock in at least the Wrecking Ball. Interstellar and Joey are going to change some things up. Joey opting for the Roadhog over the Diva for this dive aspect. Getting a little torturous, some would say.
Indeed, some would.
Oh!
Nice shot coming in from Lambin from high up in the sky. Aspect gonna yeet themselves off the point this time around, so that is gonna be another donation coming in from Friends and Pals. And look at that, Zoolander gets not an environmental, but the sound boop kill onto Hammy. Point being hotly contested at the moment, but it's just Friends and Pals really staving off the inevitable at this point. Period gonna come away with this first fight win.
That is true. We do see Aspect coming in on this Doomfist, which could be beneficial, but really the Doomfist isn't needed in a composition like this. I mean, they're not dealing with a double shield. I mean, you can go for that single pick potential, but there really is no reason for it. And of course, you've got Pokane on this Sombra, who's literally just going to continue to hack the snot out of this Doomfist over and over. I mean, just watch Pokane going straight to the spawn to look for Aspect and take them out now on the Echo. Uh-oh.
Pause coming in. Hopefully everything is all right for both teams, but now we get to see our beautiful visages once again on screen. So, fortunately, I wasn't picking my nose or anything embarrassing this time. So, didn't, no surprise. This time, exactly. Ooh, what was that mug that I just saw? What is that?
Just from my time in Illinois. It's just one of the local gas stations there.
Gotcha.
Always gotta stay hydrated when you're casting, but you know what I really enjoy doing? Exactly. You know what I really enjoy doing while I'm casting Juggle God? I love talking about amazing charities like the one we're raising money for today. But we're not going to be able to... Oh, there we go. We're transitioning in. Beautiful. Time to Light, who is currently leading our observation tonight, is dropping a good old $6.90. Nice. Very nice for Time to Light there. That's going to bring us up to $9.79.90, folks. That is only $20.10 away from our $1,000 goal, folks, and we have got still a whole match to be played. Technically, you could say we've already made it, because I don't think that's including the donations made by the teams, but hey, get there before the teams do, folks. Come on, help us out.
Oh, look at that, an environmental coming in from Burb as well. That's going to be another donation from Period. You gotta love to see it. Picks coming in for either side at the moment. Lambit pops this barrage as well. It's going to find some value, and they actually are able to escape with their life as well. So friends and pals not going to be outdone by Period. They're coming back in this fight. EMP gonna land as well, though. That's gonna cause a lot of problems. Lambit is there to clean things up. Friends and pals gonna come away with their first point control.
Yeah, that actually just worked out really well in their favor. And actually, Juggle, that was a double donation coming in. The fact that they were able to get the environmental, Joey has to donate $2 for Friends and Pals, whereas Burb donates the $10 for the elimination. So look at that. There, as long as Period keeps yeeting Friends and Pals off the map, we're gonna have a lot of donations coming in tonight.
Yeah, that we are. Frenok taken out early, though. Nice headshot coming out from Snow. That is not an easy shot to hit. Lambit gets the they get taken out though of their barrage. Not before they're look at the kill. Snow kills Lambit. Lambit kills Snow. It's like an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, and both go back to spawn. The res is going to come out onto Lambit, though. That's going to keep Friends and Pals in this fight a little bit longer. Joey taking out half of the support line as well. Going to make things hard for Period. They are forced back into spawn, but Friends and Pals has only made it halfway to the to what Period has at this point.
Yeah, Period still has quite a bit of time to be able to make this work for them, and I think the biggest focus that they're not working on is trying to get Hammy out of this fight, right? With Hammy in the fight, both Lambit and Aspect have been getting that power boost, getting that direct healing, and it's been very difficult for them to be able to hold on. Beautiful duplicate Lucio coming out here, a little bit tinnitus for Bingo to get things started off.
Oh, and that's gonna yield a little more than just tinnitus right there, as Snow falls on the Friends and Pals and removes them from this fight. Pokane gonna try and come in now with the Sombra to get a hack onto Joey, takes them out of that whole hog, and leaves them out to dry as well. No way to get that healing back. A barrage is gonna seal the deal. Friends and Pals gonna come away with this fight win, and it's very little left that Period can do. Zoolander uses that sound barrier, but look at this, the pick's starting to come in favor of them. Can they turn this around? Deadeye from Snow almost finds value, but it's not quite gonna be enough. Friends and Pals coming back into this now, but Verb has a pick onto Vanguard. Lambit looking dangerously low as well, but they're able to take Snow out of the fight eventually. This is barely Friends and Pals hanging on for dear life, as now the tide has turned in favor of Period. Freda going down very low. They are removed as well, and now Friends and Pals look to be up the creek without a paddle. Period, despite all odds, has come away with this fight win. They're gonna get the D-Mech onto Vanguard, and with that, there's very little else Friends and Pals can do to hold on. The point flips.
That's true, but we're getting ready to see quite a few ultimates coming online. Lambit opting over to the Cassidy for this final fight. Thankfully, they didn't have any ultimates or anything, so they won't be missing out on that. And that's another $4 in donation. The self-yeet and free knock being sent over the side by Zoolander. That actually may secure them the victory here if they're not careful.
Yeah, that certainly could. Aspect going down the very low. They did an excellent job of procking that overtime. Zoolander gets another environmental kill. This man is unstoppable. It was Lee J Gong Tower, but now it's Zoolander Gong Tower, if you have to ask me about it. Period coming away with some nice kills here. We're going to get to see the third map of Lee Jong Tower, Captain Jack.
That's true, and all I gotta say is I'm so thankful that we have Kothar actually keeping track of all this, because there's just so many. When it's coming to especially the environmental eliminations, it's so hard to keep track when they start coming in a lot on objectives like this.
Right
you
there.
see it on the well as well. Getting a little bit of replay action from a previous map there. That'll be that was beautiful. But as we head into the night market, you still have that same potential. But I think both teams are going back to the tried and true. I did love Snow having to desperately get the Deadeye out before the mini diva took them out. That was an interesting play there the last time around, but both teams opting for the bread and butter, you know, looking for that that Ryan Diva got the Symmetra on point. Period. Gonna be the first ones to be able to actually get on point, though.
Yeah, the immortality field has to be committed already by Hemi. No immortality, though, for Period, and that is an unfortunate thing because they are going down. Counter picks, though, for each side. This is hotly contested, just like this entire match has been. Zoolander taken out by Aspect, barely getting a kill in onto them. And now, Friends and Pals, with a firm control of this point, gonna come away with the first control.
Yeah, it just came out to the immense amount of damage that was going in either direction right there. There wasn't a lot that that Friends and Pals could do, or sorry, that Period could do at that point, because you're kind of at the mercy of which team gets to the ground first. They were able to get on point, but they ended up taking a lot of damage coming down from that teleporter second. So
yeah,
they will have a second shot at this. Pokane and Zoolander opting into the far mercy, but based on how Lambent has been playing on several heroes tonight, just on Lijiang Tower alone, I'm going to say that that is going to be quite a difficult battle to fight out here.
It certainly will be, but you know, it's a difficult battle regardless. Ooh. Of who we're looking at. Excellent pick there from Pokane, finding Frenok out of position. Ults being committed heavily by Friends and Pals to try and hold on to this point. They are awarded with a pick onto Burb. Snow going down dangerously low as well. The Fire Strike barely missing, but that Hammer Swing will not. And once again, Friends and Pals holds on, but it was close there for a moment.
That is true. Pokane almost was able to get those initial picks there in the back line. With free knockdown, that should have pretty much been a clean sweep, but Burb ended up getting stunned out very early in that fight, which made the distraction that they needed kind of inoperable. Now with Burb back in the fight, though, they have to be able to get out of there quick so that they can set up for their team.
Yeah, they're going to want to take an off angle as well from their team. That's going to take them a little bit of time to potentially roll around to the backside of point. Looking very good, though, right now for Friends and Pals. They've already got 90% on the board. This is last fight territory for Period. Snow going to use the Deadeye. Here comes the self-destruct as well from Interstellar to try and find some value, and they do. Frenok once again taken out of the fight early on. This could be Period's time to shine. An excellent environmental coming in. Get to see it from the Demised's point of view this time around. Period flips the point.
Just barely, though, Juggle, and I gotta say, they don't really have a composition that's gonna do well of holding on to this point. Aspect still on that Symmetra, has every ability to just teleport right into the objective and be able to set it up once again, because Period is having to stay out in this open area to get any value on the composition that they have. They do have some ultimates that will be able to help things out, but as we see the teleporter coming out for Friends and Pals, they're looking for that quick rotation to objective. Aspect, another $2 in the bank.
That there are. Things looking good for Period as well. Hammy going down very low. They're almost out of heals at the moment. Just Frenok with the sound barrier. Look at that shatter coming in. Catches out too, including Pokane, who happened to be on the ground at that moment. So that is an extra large boon for the Friends and Pals. They're coming close to flipping this point back in their favor. Hammy shooting through that amplification matrix. As soon as it expires, though, he goes back to healing. Vanguard finds a couple of big kills for the Friends and Pals, and with that, they flip the point. Just one member left of Period to try and hold on to dear life, but that's going to do it. Aspect looks like they might be going for an environmental kill on themselves, and that's too bad because they could have been there to stop this barrage from Pokane, which almost put Period back in the fight. Can they touch? They do have Zoolander back, but it's just barely in time. We've got another Interstellar stall coming in. They're going to be demeched, though, very shortly. Burb is back in the fight, though, so Period is coming back into this, and they're getting the kills that they need. Lambent goes down, but Vanguard is back as well, and he's found Snow. Things are looking better again for the Friends and Pals because their respawns are starting to come in force from that barrage and from the suicide coming out from Aspect as well. They're gonna come away with the win, but boy, was it close.
Wow, that Yi from Aspect literally almost turned that entire fight. That barrier was not there to keep that barrage from coming out when it did. And if it wasn't for the fact that the desperation picks came out immediately from friends and pals to be able to get to that objective. We could have seen a very different night market there without the support of that Symmetra on the objective. So
Right. Yeah.
definitely the balance that we're seeing here tonight, Juggle, is like, do we take the risk of yeeting ourselves off the map for the donations in turn of possibly giving up the objective? Aspect thought it was worth it, but
You
if
know,
the rest of the team hadn't have been there, that might have been a completely different story.
Maybe this was like a 9,000 IQ play coming out from Aspect, because think about
the
the
bait.
value. Think about the value that we all got from that suicide, right?
Oh yeah.
Because not only did we get a donation, we got to see a very close and exciting end to that match as well. So to me, this was just a win all the way around, made it more exciting for everybody. And speaking about exciting, these donations keep coming in. Like we said before, Time to Light getting that last donation, or the latest one coming in. We are so close. Just a little bit over $20 to that $1,000 goal. It's tremendous to me that we have made it this far, and we're likely going to hit it as well. Let's get a quick update. Yep, Time to Light still the most recent donation. Let's see if we can get a new name down there and a new total.
That is true, and we got a reminder from the team to make sure that that we're keeping track of Lambent. I assure you, we are. Lambent did fall at least one time that I was aware of first in the fight, so that's already going to be $10 in from them, and I believe just that goal alone is a soft cap of $150. So
That's right.
needless to say, that is going to be quite a bit. But man, both of these teams racking up donations tonight with the constant environmentals that we saw on Lijiang Tower. And then, of course, we do see another $10 coming in for the side of Friends and Pals on their map victory.
Yeah, this is just tremendous. I can't wait until we get like the grand total at the end of the tournament. What is it going to be? Because yeah, like we're definitely hitting our goal. Let's see if we can hit it before the teams get into the mix as well. But I am just thrilled that we have been able to do this for Activision Blizzard. There's it sometimes it feels like we're helpless, but we're not. We can help out Activision Blizzard. Even if you're here and just watching, you're helping to support the community. So thank you all. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, I mean, especially at this time of year, there's always kind of that balance. And you got to remember that this is impacting real people that are just trying to live their lives the best way that they can. And if you've ever been in a situation, or if you've known people, or if you yourself have been on strike before, you know that that's a really difficult position to be in. There's the possibility of being laid off. Usually if you're striking, you're not getting paid, and so you have to kind of take all of those things into account. There might be even legal fees associated
Right.
with your participation in the strike. That's what the strike fund is set up for, is to help these employees get the work environment that they deserve. Not only for this holiday season, but year round. So anything that you can do to help out, be sure to hit that exclamation donate in the chat. They've made such a wonderful game. I know that I see y'all on Twitter complaining about the several various aspects. We haven't gotten new content in 2 years, yada yada. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's a reason that we're still casting Overwatch. There's a reason we're still playing Overwatch, and that's because we love this game. So do your best to support those who made sure that this game was possible by donating at the link in the chat or below the stream today. We're just waiting to see which map Period is going to choose. No way! Felix Felicis coming in with the $20 donation. That means we're 10 cents.
10
10
cents
cents
away. This is
away.
incredible.
10 cents away from our cap there. Message from Felix saying, our world is worth fighting for. Here's to a better future at ABK and in the gaming industry as a whole. I could not agree more, Felix. And that sound is more than familiar to me, Chuggle. We're heading back to Kings Row for Hybrid. Can't say that I am surprised whatsoever,
Right.
but we didn't see a lot of brawl during those initial matchups. I mean, a lot of the damage was really coming down to the DPS on those Cementras and Junkrats during these matches, and we got to see a little bit of the dive. So we've seen Period on Kings Row. You know, we are going to possibly see this Doomfist come out once again, but is Lambent gonna match that on the Doomfist? Not as much CC, more of kill first, ask questions later, coming out for friends and pals.
Right. Right. This is interesting. Lambent on the Doomfist. I wonder if I wonder if he's looking to die first again. Like that's
Oh my
actually,
goodness.
because like this is a distinct possibility with Doomfist, right? He could be looking to feed a little bit, and frankly, I'm here for it if that's the case.
That's true.
Got both teams coming out on the brawl composition. Doomfist or rather Reaper and Cassidy being the only differences here. Lambent, instead of getting killed first, gets the first kill, and look at that, Friends and Pals coming out in fourth.
Yeah, that was a very quick cleanup right there, and that basically came down to the ignorance of Periot on Freenok, just sitting in their backline, firing away with those Hellfire shotguns. They do a lot more damage than you think, even at a distance. And Freenok, a little misclick there on the teleport right there, and the Shatter already laying folks out.
Yeah, that Shatter coming in absolutely in time for Friends and Pals. They're able to get a pick onto Interstellar, but with Vanguard out of the fight, things are looking a little bit rough for them. They're gonna have to regroup and maybe even give a tick over to Periot. Lambent, though, not going to be dissuaded, comes in with a Meteor Strike and takes out his Doppelganger, but already Period starting to get capture percentage. Here comes the supports, though, from Friends and Pals. They're back, and they're starting to push in, but Bingo gets a bingo by taking Lambent out of the fight. Friends and Pals are going to be able to come back in, though, and at least put a stall to this, if not a complete stop.
Yeah, see, these are the points that really comes down to how the team defines the start of the fight, because you could say that Lambent technically died at the start of the fight right there, but since the fight was kind of continuing, not for certain if that's exactly the case. Interstellar, though, trying to hold beautiful beat from Zoolander.
Yeah, that beat is going to help out Period significantly, so much, in fact, that they are able to get this fight win. They're going to be able to capture first point, and we get to see the next phase, once again, of Kings Row.
Wish he was flex there, not anticipating the immediate shutdown while rolling into the objective. Thankfully, they're Lucio, but they will not be grouped up with the team. That's going to force Friends and Pals to give up a lot of space here in the street phase.
Yeah, that it is. Friends and Pals looking like they bit off a little more than they can chew. And, I was hesitant to mention this at the beginning of the cast, but Friends and Pals, they too owed Period when they faced them in those semifinals. And right now, Period looks like a new team. It looks like they have started to download and figure them out. And look at that! As I said, Snow comes in with a triple Deadeye kill. That's going to wipe away half of the Friends and Pals. We're just left with a Pal, as a matter of fact, as Aspect is the last to fall.
See, again, if it was one of those things where you respect the enemy team, that would have been a $10 donation, Friends and Pals, for the team wipe right there. But we won't be seeing that time around. You know what? I might donate that myself. That was beautiful team wipe right there. Vanguard, though, whipping that Shatter, not going to be a good start for them.
No, it is not. But doesn't seem to matter because the rest of the team was behind them. They went ahead and held W and pressed Q as well. And that's going to reward them with at least a few kills and a team fight. Oh, Captain Jack! We've done it! We've done it!
Apparently a donation has come in. We're not for certain from who, but we have reached $1,000. And commenting a little bit on what we just saw there, Juggle, I mean, it's as you said. They pressed W and Q, and that is what was allowing them to take it over. But wait, Interstellar took themselves out? Okay. Interesting. Not for certain how that happened. You know, maybe Shred of Hell thought they had more. Something like that, but nevertheless, Period have a lot going for them in this fight. They have pretty much almost every ultimate online that you could have. Vanguard technically could shut it all down with a single shatter, but highly unlikely.
Yeah, nice charge though does come in from Burb. Very aggressive. The slam coming in from Poke though, really getting a tremendous amount of value. Period. Looking primed to capture this last point. I don't know if Friends and Pals are going to be able to get back for a contest here.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to be able to get back, or at least back as a full 6 before that payload makes it into Objective Bravo. But nevertheless, I do love what we have been seeing thus far. Ooh, Lambit pushing in. Might pay for that one. Ooh, that is no. That is not what you wanted, but that's $10 on the board for Lambeth going down first.
Yes, that is, and you know, I think that Doomfist really paying dividends, literally. Exactly. So, great push coming in from Period as well. They've done a nice job cycling their ultimate. Shatter comes in from Vanguard. They're able to take Cocaine and put them on the ground, but the sound barrier was magnificent from Zoolander. Joey is able to finally finish the job on the Cocaine, though. Lambent goes down very low, but they are barely, never mind, not going to be able to escape with their life. And Period continuing this push through King's Row. Frenetic trying to slow them down frenetically, as it were, with this Deadeye, but only gonna last for a couple of seconds. They go in for a very aggressive play on the Zarya, but it's not gonna yield anything. And Cassidy now trying to get a flashbang in there, but just unable to. Friends and Pals going down by the wayside again. This is a very dominant looking Period right now. Another Fire Strike kill for Burb as well.
I mean, we are just seeing a lot of aggression coming out from Friends and Pals, but the patience of Period is what is allowing them to stay on this objective. And now you see Freenock coming out as the Bastion. That's going to get damage out, but unless somebody else is touching the objective, even if Vanguard would have been able to touch, they would have been yeeted away by that Graviton of Interstellar. A minute 41 on the objective there. Juggle is going to give them plenty of room to work. Definitely not going to be how it was last time they were on King's Row. They're going to be able to secure that pretty well, but it's going to be up to Friends and Pals to turn the tide. Remember, this is a 1-to-3 situation, so Period aren't in a desperation state just yet, but should things change here on King's Row, Friends and Pals maybe get a couple more picks than Period anticipate. This could be a clean sweep in the other direction just as easily. So Cocaine, though, been getting a lot more value on this Doomfist this time around. I don't know if that was because Lambent was also on the Doomfist, so there wasn't as much stun potential for Friends and Pals to kind of shut that down as much as we saw from Tengu's JJ crew. But hey, once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If Cocaine's continuing to get value, Interstellar being there to bubble them when need be, then, you know, continue to let your Doomfist roam free. But Friends and Pals, they're opting for the meta comp. They're coming out with a little bash and blizzard here with the Cassidy and May.
Seeing a little bit of aggression coming in early on from Cocaine once again.
Ooh, beautiful.
Snow gonna be able to finish Lambent off, and there's another donation. No, Lambent knows themselves. I'm gonna give them that. They know what kind of player they are like. But Period gonna hold on strong here on this defense. They're able to get Freenock out of the fight once again. Friends and Pals looking to have a little trouble here on King's Row.
That is true. As we, it looks like we are getting some totals from the amazing Kothar right now, but
Yes.
I'll amp that in after this fight.
Sounds good. Speaking of amping in, I'm seeing anticipating a speed amp coming in from Period, but Burb is already down. Joey lays down the Shatter, and with that, lays down a few members of Period as well. Charge comes in. What a prediction!
Unfortunate.
That was ridiculous. That was tremendous. That I don't know if they knew they were going to be there or what, but that was quite the charge.
Yeah, I think that was just unfortunate for Pokane. They were trying to get regrouped with the rest of the team, and they just got charged right into oblivion right there. But Kothar's been adding up all of the incentives from our teams. I'm not for certain if this is just this match. Oh man, fight's already started. I can't get words out, Juggle, before they start these fights.
They are going at it hard right now. Period. Coming out with a very nice hold. Right here at Arches. This is going to be, and this is a really big boon for them. This Arch hold is very strong. In fact, they haven't even got the cart pushed up to the Arch yet.
Meteor Strike already coming in from Pokane. I'm not exactly for certain what they're looking for. Maybe they were hoping to see them drop down there. Then they will to try to take advantage. Blizzard invested to go ahead and try to keep things going here. That's going to force Burb out of the fight, and that's going to open up this can of worms right here, Juggle. But as I've been trying to say, well, I won't get to say any more because this fight is going to continue to keep going. Period and Friends and Pals are just, they don't want us to let folks know how much money is already on the table out for all three of the teams that have just been playing tonight.
Right.
Beautiful Shatter.
Yeah, that was absolutely tremendous. What an extended fight as well. And I mean, look at the Old Banks. They spent everything, absolutely everything on both sides to try and turn that around. Period. Gonna come in with some wholesale changes too to their lineup as well. Got a couple of swaps coming in. Interstellar on the Diva now.
Yeah, gonna have to have their head on a swivel there for that Blossom. So maybe I can finally get this out before the fight starts. Current incentive is $139 right now for all three teams, I believe. Beautiful Amp Fire Strike to start things off.
Yeah, that is going to put a stop to things very quickly. Braddock comes in with a Death Blossom as well. That's going to secure this point. And I got to tell you, Friends and Pals, they look like they're going for the speed run right now.
I gotta ask, Juggle, where was Interstellar? because you just saw Freenuck just walk freely into the area where all of Period was sitting and just get full value on that Reaper. Like no holds bar whatsoever. Interstellar, if you're gonna swap to the Diva, you gotta be keeping your head on a swivel. Deadeye to start things off as the picks come in.
Yeah, Period gonna be able to. They're going to be able to hold here at the last moment. And, you know, it was because Friends and Pals, they were trading kills, right? And when you're trading kills like that, it's only going to benefit the defense. And we saw that come into play, I think, in spades right there. Friends and Pals now looking in a little bit of a rough position. They only have this Blizzard to try and win this fight with. And Period, yeah, they're going to start things out with this Amp Matrix.
Yeah, hopefully, Burb was anticipating the Shatter going down, or the wall going down, but even if it did, it would have just been straight into their wall instead. The big eat, though, coming in from Interstellar, a little snow cone action, never hurt during the winter months. Definitely hungry for some of that. That's going to allow Period to continue to hold on to this objective. Now Pokane's got a Blizzard of their own, and not really anything to stop it there, but a couple of bubbles from Friends and Pals.
That Blizzard going to be thrown out immediately. It's going to catch out the main tank. Joey, they're going to be out of the fight. Wish I was Flex getting close to the sound barrier, but it's not going to be there in time to save them. But look at this. Friends and Pals able to turn this around. Frenock now on the Torbjorn. Maybe this was the change that they needed.
Yeah, getting another weapon on the field is always a boon, Juggle, and I gotta say, kind of glad that we ended up slotting 2 play-by-plays in today's slot, because these teams are just not willing to give any space whatsoever when it comes to these fights. They're so fast and so fierce. Ooh, that self-destruct still got value on the high ground.
Yeah, that's incredible right there. Period. Coming out with the defense that they need when they need it. Look at this time bank now. We're very close to equaling what Period had. They may be able to hold on. They have burned 2 minutes right now. And just got a note about a donation coming in for me, Blizzard, one of our producers and observers tonight. $5 Torb Hammer kill. He's putting that at a max of 25 tonight, but excellent motivation for Freddock.
That's true. We do love us some MI Blizzard. But speaking of blizzards, there's one on the field as well as the Molten Core. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen the Lava Angel end card just yet, you really should. It was it's so cute. I absolutely love it. Friends and Pals gonna be able to lock in point Charlie 9 seconds shy of what we saw from Period. Both teams kind of at this stalemate right now as to whether or not they're going to be able to get it in further than the other. It really came down to kind of what Friends and Pals have been relying on thus far. Press W, press Q, everything hits at once and just overwhelm them.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, that was an overwhelming fight when at the end right there, there was nothing Period could really do to stave off what the Friends and Pals were throwing at them. But now we're going to see Period on the defense first. Each team with just a little under a minute. This is maybe 3 fights for each team, but most likely 2.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely agree with that, Juggle. It's not a lot of time to work, but both teams were relatively able to get Objective Alpha in those 1 to 2 fights. So I'd say the issue isn't so much can they keep the enemy team out of Objective Alpha on the defense. The options they have on the table is if they get them off that objective, how quickly can they take it back? Period have shown that they're willing to go all the way to the spawn doors if that's what it takes to keep them off of those points.
That's true. They've been playing very aggressively. We're seeing that aggression once again. Pokane on the Doomfist. Immortality Field has to be used, though, very early on by Bingo. And that's going to allow Friends and Pals to just push in with a lot of force. We already see progress starting to be made. They're going to get 1 tick on the board before anybody from Period touches. In fact, there's so much aggression coming in. Just 1 member's been able to do it. But Joey's gonna fall first, but you've gotta be pleased if you are Friends and Pals. Getting a tick without even getting a pick is tremendous. Pokane coming in, though, takes Lambent out of the fight. And now things are looking better for Friends and Pals as this Amp Matrix is gonna do a lot of work. But Bingo has their own, and that's going to allow them to start to reclaim some space. But the Molten Core is there to finish things off.
Yeah, that's going to be Objective Alpha. Like I said, it's not a matter of whether or not they're going to take Objective Alpha. It's how quickly they're going to be able to take back the cart here in the streets. And unfortunately, Period are not going to get the opportunity that they had last time around unless Friends and Pals get a little bit too big for their britches here on the 5v6. As they're pushing forward with 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Honestly, I'm not surprised that we're not seeing Pokane go back to the objective and see if they can get an initial pick. It looks like Friends and Pals are going to go ahead and pull back, though, so that they can stay close to the cart just in case Pokane decides to go for the individual pick.
Snow coming out with a Deadeye. It's not going to find anything except a Maywall in his face. The Shatter, though, from Joey's gonna land. Blizzard gonna be committed as well. We are firmly in overtime right now. Lambent is taken out of the fight first. Once again, that is another donation coming in. But Period are falling like flies. Friends and Pals, they're gonna continue to push this card forward.
Kothar commenting in our chat at this rate, we definitely understand why the cap was set at 150 at this point.
Yeah, we
because Lambent, whether or not, and the funny thing is that it's not even all Lambent's fault, right? Like sometimes Lambent's getting a little over aggressive, but sometimes Lambent just happens to be the first head that ends up getting shot off at the beginning of each fight.
Okay, so there's another funny message in chat that I'm gonna mention in a minute, but look at that Shatter! lays out 5. Interstellar was the only one not there. And with that, Friends and Pals are going to push into this third point. Aspect goes down, so maybe I spoke too soon as a blizzard coming in from Period. The kills coming back in their favor, but Interstellar has been demeched, and with that demech is going to come the end of their hold right here. We're seeing third points from Friends and Pals.
I gotta be honest with you, Juggle. It literally comes down to the Torb turret diff. That's really the biggest,
yeah.
and I'm not saying that jokingly either,
right?
Because that Torb turret does an incredible amount of damage. But if you've been noticing where Freenock's been throwing it, it's always behind where Period has to set up. It has constantly been in an angle behind them where they could take it out rather easily, but they're so focused on stopping the cart that they're not even paying attention to where that turret is.
What an excellent Maywall coming out there from Pokane. Pops Snow up above the fray, almost rewards them with a kill. Another Molten Core comes out. We've got picks on each side right now. This is an opportunity for Period to come back in this. If they can hold on and just trade, they're going to eventually win out this fight. Pokane pops the Blizzard, and that's going to make things very difficult for Friends and Pals. They're falling like flies. Lambent the last alive, surprisingly, but they do eventually fall. And Captain Jack. Kothar in our broadcast chat just said, in reference to Lambent, he's only at 70. He's already at 70. My gosh, that is ridiculous.
It isn't. It hasn't even been 2 full maps, and Lambent is already at $70. Goodness gracious! Oh man, that is definitely a rough right there. But you know, Lambent obviously knows that they're a little bit more on the aggressive side, and they're gonna get. They're ideally going to be the ones that's taken out first. So you know, hey, it's all for a good cause at the end of the day. And if you want to be like Lambent, instead of feeding in your friend line, you can just donate directly. You don't even have to wait to be playing Overwatch. Just hit that exclamation donate in the chat and click the link for the ABK Strike Fund. Remember, every single dollar goes directly to them, doesn't even cross through our hands first. You're going to be helping them out in a major way, especially around the holidays as they fight for the rights that they definitely deserve as workers at Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, I mean, they have helped make this game that we all love, that we love to hate, that we hate to love, whatever your emotions are about it. They're strong, and there's a reason that we're here tonight, and it's due to all of these amazing workers. So let's help make their lives, and we are helping make their lives better with these tremendous donations. Now we've got Period. They've got a tough ask ahead of them. They have got so far to make it, otherwise they are falling 2-0. Their backs will be against the wall coming into this third map. And speaking of backs against the wall, that is exactly where Burb finds themselves. Ooh. They're gonna be able to survive though from that immortality field, and with Frenak going down low, now Period can really start to push forward, and they may be able to cap just as quickly as we saw the Friends and Pals.
That was impressive. Let me tell you, that was freaking impressive right there by Period. I was for sure that fight was done and over with. They're able to at least get a tick on the board to get things started off, but as Zoolander gets back in this fight, Lambent already almost has the Blizzard online. They gotta get Interstellar out of that fight.
That they do, but the Blizzard's gonna land even with Interstellar there. In fact, they're gonna be able to take them out during that Blizzard. And 1 tick on the board, but Period definitely in a rough place right now.
Oh, you just see Snow pounding away, but Aspect at a distance was just keeping Lambent alive the entire time. That is so unfortunate as the Cassidy to be clicking headshot after headshot, but that pesky Baptiste just keeping their players alive. Like that's a support's job or something.
Right? I know. The audacity. Joey throws out a shatter. It's not going to find too much value this time around. Snow goes for a flank. Picks on either side right now, and overtime has ticked over. We've got a Sadberry coming in from Wish I Was Flex, who's doing a great job on main support right now. Couple of picks coming in favor of Friends and Pals. They've got this point. It's just a matter of cleaning things up. Self-destruct coming in from Vanguard as well. A big shatter comes in from Burb, lays out a couple people, but I don't think there's any way they're coming back in this fight. We're going to map 3 with Friends and Pals up 2-0.
And again, it comes down to that Torb diff right there. I
Right?
mean, the turret was in the middle of the objective. Like it was right there. I know that it's hard, right? Because you ideally you want to take the heroes out before they're able to get the value that they're looking for. Like you're seeing right there from Burb with the play of the game, which if I remember correctly, let's go back up to
Yeah,
our
I think so.
incentives.
I think
That's
so,
another
right?
$5 for Period right
Hell
there.
yeah.
But like I get that it's difficult because you want to get the heroes off the objective first, but that thing is just pelting away at you. Like you have
Yes.
to get that. You have to get that because it doesn't miss. You have to get that off of the point first before you can start taking out everybody else. But nevertheless, it is going to go the way of friends and pals, and now we are at match point for the remainder of the evening, Juggle. So it's really going to be up to Period to change up their strategy. What do they need to do to get around this this cluster of chaos that has been Friends and Pals Esports?
You know, I don't know what the answer is, but we're going to take a few minutes to think about it, and you can as well, because we're going to throw it to a short break to give the players a chance to get a little water, do whatever they need to do. So stick around. We will be right back, and we'll continue with this incredible grand final. See you all soon.
Friends and pals doing their best.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the action. We are getting ready to close out these grand finals. We've got friends and pals up 2-0 right now, and I gotta tell you, this is gonna be close. Period. If they're gonna come back and
Got to come out of the closet if they want to stay in this tournament for any amount of time whatsoever. So I'm really hoping that we start seeing a little bit of a change in strategy from what we've been expecting from Period. I think that's really kind of what they need right now. Even if it's a little bit experimental, maybe not as practiced,
right.
it's better to just take a chance on trying to get something to work than working with something which it has been working. I won't say it hasn't been working,
Right.
but in those minute moments, in the times that it really counts, it's not enough to turn that tide really into their favor. I'm not for certain if we've decided on what this next map is going to be just yet, as it looks like my camera is taken to the void. It looks like we're heading back to control. It looks like Period
Yeah.
taking us to Oasis for what could be our final map tonight.
That it could. If Period has anything to say about it, though, it won't be. And Oasis, a good place to, to post your last stand, as it were, between these two teams. Hopefully, we'll get to see a little bit more Overwatch. Maybe Period can come away with a win here, but that's all going to be down to what we see come up next.
Yeah, it's either they're looking to start the reverse sweep here, or they want to make their death quick. I'm not exactly for certain what the option is here for going to Oasis, but typically on Oasis, you see a lot more of the dive coming out. So maybe again, this is one of those. We held it in our back pocket long enough. Let's see if we can make
Mm-hmm.
this work. A little dive, a little double bubble. See what they can do against those on Friends and Pals. But Friends and Pals have been showing to be rather flexible as well. Pokane being on the Doomfist and the May. We've been seeing them surprisingly not seeing snow on the May. Can I say that? That's been really interesting that we have not seen snow on the May tonight, or at least I
Yeah,
don't
that is
remember seeing
interesting.
snow on the May. You think that'd be built in at one
Right?
point, but we are going to see them start off here on City Center, which is going to give Period both teams a lot of room to work. And the question really comes down to what are they going to be bringing out of the pocket? Right now, Period is messing with a little hog and ball torture to start things off, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the right answer here. It's definitely possible, but Lambit on that Echo is going to be a huge problem.
Yeah, Lambent certainly is going to be. That's going to be a thorn in their side. Pokane, though, on the Sombra as well, going to make things difficult. Life very difficult, especially for Hammy on that hamster. And, I've been wondering this entire time if Hammy was, in fact, a Wrecking Ball main. We're finally getting to see this on this. I feel like this is just what we needed. Couple of picks coming in for each side. We've got supports down in both cases, but Period looking a little stronger at the moment. Hammy does come with a pick onto Interstellar, though, so things aren't over for Friends and Pal just yet. Snow, though, gonna be there with the rest of their team to finish the cap of this point.
It's true. Period doing an incredible job of being able to lock this down, and maybe this is exactly what they needed. Their team is set up for speed.
Yeah, it certainly is. Period. Starting off things well with another pulse bomb pick onto Frenock. That's really going to allow them to get, a significant amount more percentage. The res does come in, and now without Zoolander, though, the tides have turned. Friends and Pals looking a little better now in this matchup. Aspect coming in for um, a little bit of poke damage there. We've got a minefield committed as well, but yeah, things are looking up for Friends and Pals as they're finally getting the picks they need to start to flip this over.
And Pokane's doing a really good job of continuing to keep the Pharah Mercy at bay, or sorry, the Echo Mercy at bay right now. But wow, a lot of fists lighting up that kill feed, Juggle.
Yeah, there are. Friends and pals coming away with a big fight win. They're going to get their first control of this point, and they've got a healthy old bank too coming into this next fight.
Just want to make sure that everybody knows that there is a couple of issues going on with some lag here. We'll be taking care of those as the fights continue on. But very good first pick there for Joey onto Interstellar. The follow-up onto Zoolander. Gonna go ahead and shut down this fight before it even starts.
Yeah, and look at that. They didn't really expend hardly anything at all from Friends and Pals, but that's given Period the time to start to build up their own old bank, and they're looking pretty healthy coming into this next fight.
We'll go ahead and wait to see how this ends up working out. Lambit has the duplicate online. The question is, what are they going to pick? That EMP is going to open up stuff, though.
That it is, and the Coalescence to finish things off is just tremendous. Excellent value coming out from Period. They're going to come away with this map back under their control right as the moment that Friends and Pals equalize their capture percentage.
We see Cocaine here in the back line, trying to see if they can get that early pick. At very least, the D-Mech there onto Joey. And that's another $2 for Friends and Pals there. Zaspek goes over the side. We see Lambit coming in with the duplicate. Not going to get a whole lot of value out of that one.
No, they aren't, and I imagine they're going to wish they had that still with them for this next fight because we are entering last fight territory. Period. Looking primed to come away with this map win. The stick comes out onto Hammy as well, and that's going to make things very difficult for them. Counter stick comes in, and Snow is out of the fight. The res does come in on the Hammy, so Friends and Pals now back in this to win it, and that's what they are going to try and do right now. Bird goes down, taken out by Lambent as well. The DPS combining for a couple of big picks. We've hit overtime, but Friends and Pals not going to let this go. Self-destruct coming in from Joey as well to kind of clear some space in the main area, and that's going to flip the point.
And that's exactly what Friends and Pals needed to do. I mean, having a chaotic comp is one thing, but chaos in the face of a team game such as Overwatch is just meant to look chaotic, not actually be chaotic. There is a plan, a rhyme or reason, if you will, as to why these compositions work out so well, and it's because when everything seems crazy, it really is incredibly focused, and that is now Friends and Pals have got their head back on a swivel. They're able to tighten up those bolts, and now with the point locked down, we're heading into final fight.
That we are. Zoolander pops the sound barrier to allow Period to go aggressive, and aggressive they do. Bigo comes away with a kill. They are rewarded with a couple. In fact, both supports are out for Friends and Pals. This could be the start to a comeback from Period. We've got the Whole Hog as well getting a lot of value, and this is going to be Period coming away with the first map win on Oasis.
Oh, I wouldn't speak too soon there, Juggle. We were paid with this respect before last time, but it looks like Period did a good job of zoning this time around, really kind of pincering in Friends and Pals outside of the objective to make sure that they weren't able to get back in. I thought I was going to see the echo pop up and over the top, but we're not going to be seeing that happen. Period with the first map win on the board does put themselves in a good position to take Oasis away and take us to a map 4, but they got to get 2 to be able to lock that down. And in the Gardens, Friends and Pals could opt for a more brawly composition if they so choose, if they think that it'll be beneficial to them to run it on this map. It looks like they will stick with this Diva Wrecking Ball. Lambit opting for the Sombra instead of the Echo this time around.
Yeah, and I think that Sombra is a crucial piece of the puzzle, and that piece of the puzzle has been taken out already. What excellent play coming out there. But there's going to be counter picks on both sides, so it's neither team really has an advantage at the moment. Oh, with Frenot going down, Period coming away with another fight win. Cocaine almost gets booped off the point, but they're able to translocate away. Big slam coming in from Hammy right now to try and cause a little chaos. Friends and Pals looking a little healthier now at the moment. Aspect has this pulse bomb ready to go. But in the meantime, the point is getting capped by Period. They're going to come away with first control. And with Hammy down, this fight could be theirs as well.
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah, you said that it could have gone either way, but the best thing that Pokane did at the beginning of the fight was hack that mega health pack. That literally kept their entire team healed up during that whole fight, allowed the healers to be able to focus on to Interstellar, who, by the way, was getting absolutely ramrodded by every single person on Friends and Pals. I mean, did you see Aspect just earn up that pulse bomb just off of Interstellar alone, yet Interstellar still did not die? And now we are up to a third of the objective already captured for the side of Period, and with that mega health pack still in their favor, it is going to be working out incredibly well for Period.
EMP coming in now, though. That's going to start to stymie the roll that Period has started. Friends and Pals coming back in this with a heavy advantage. Aspect's going to get one of the last cleanup kills, and despite a counter pick, Friends and Pals will come away with this point as their own.
Well, they were at least able to get it up to the 60% mark, almost 2/3 of the objective captured. Definitely not bad when there's only been 2 fights on the board. And I did love the fact that Friends and Pals, even though they didn't have control of the mega health pack, they aerially had control of the mega health pack, because Period had to go through them to be able to utilize it. It made it a lot more difficult for them to be able to move into that objective and utilize it for their own, and now a minefield to start things off.
Yeah, but that minefield isn't going to get the value that they hope. They do take Lambent out, which is the counter to Wrecking Ball, so that is fantastic. A nice hook comes in, but they're not going to be long for this world. Friends and Pals, despite some early advantage to Period coming away with another fight win, they're going to be able to equalize the percentage of Period during this intervening time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I didn't see Zoolander's beat, which I guess was utilized last fight, get a lot of value during that encounter, which is unfortunate because that definitely could have turned the tide for their team. I'm guessing that either it was done on the high ground where everyone else couldn't get it, or on the low ground while everyone was still high. But Lambent and Pokane both coming up on that EMP, but with Lambent hacked out early, ooh, that means Pokane and the rest of Period might take this point.
Yeah, it's looking more and more likely as time goes on. 3 picks now in favor for them. This fight is just about over, and especially with Bingo using that coalescence, there's not going to be many Friends and Pals left.
Speaking of not many Friends and Pals left, apparently Lambent only has 3 more deaths remaining before they reach that soft 150 cap. And remember, that's a soft cap. That's not necessarily where it may stop. They just have to check their bank account after that point in time, depending on how many additional ones come in.
Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you, Lambent the MVP right now in my
Lambent carrying Friends and Pals on the donation train.
Yeah, exactly. Lambent just tremendous right now, and they're doing a great job in the game too. You know, so Period, though, they've just eclipsed the capture percentage of Friends and Pals. This fight is already underway. We've got a pulse bomb kill on Aspect. Here comes the EMP, catches out 3 members of Period, but it's not going to be enough to do it. And I believe, Captain Jack, we are headed to a map forest. Period is coming back in this matchup. The overtime ticks away, and that's going to do it. Yeah, we got a 2-to-1 matchup.
Sometimes the caster curse works, sometimes the caster curse doesn't work, and this time it works out in our favor. That means there's more Overwatch to be played. Snow walking away with a play of the game for the side of Period. So we're going to see a beautiful stick there onto Aspect. Definitely wasn't doing the same numbers that we were seeing coming out of Aspect when they were on the Tracer, and just shredding down folks like Interstellar over and over again. But dang, that's absolutely beautiful. And if I remember correctly, that should put another 15. Another $15 on the board for Period as well. Taking the win and getting play of the game.
Yeah, exactly. An excellent takeaway from that match for the workers of ABK as well. And should we go ahead and we got another new donation coming in. This is fantastic. Thank you all so much. We have now smashed our goal. And with the incentives, it's been knocked out of the park. I want to say this has just been fantastic tonight, and I can't wait to see what the new totals are. And do we go ahead and tell them the total with incentives, or do you want to save that for the very end, Captain Jack?
No, I think that we need to we need to wait and let them all know what that is. I'm sure they know that Lambit, of course, is racking up
Yeah.
those incentives right now. But I assure you, the rest of the team is doing everything that they absolutely can. Kothar just asking, can people just not donate between the map breaks as they're
That's the
trying to
perfect
update?
time.
Thank you so much, Kothar, for trying to keep up with everything. We do know that it is kind of difficult. You know, typically you have like Tiltify or whatnot, but
Right.
since there isn't a way for us to donate from like Tiltify directly to GoFundMe, it doesn't unfortunately wouldn't work for our particular purposes tonight. So we appreciate the hard work that you're doing, but nevertheless, we have crushed our $1,000 goal. But remember, folks, it's not over yet. Actually, we have come up to $1,020.90. Our wonderful producer, MI Blizzard, coming out. Gotta shout out the production behind the scenes. Time to Light, myself, Silent Marine Stee, and Sushi carrying it on. I don't know if you've noticed, folks, but we have actually had a multi-observer production going on this entire time. Three observers putting out a heck of a ton of work. Time to Light, rather, choosing exactly which camera is going on stream so that you can get all the best angles, and then Blizzard running the whole show, pushing us through the scenes, updating the donations here on stream. We've updated the goal to 1250, and based on the numbers, let me tell you, I won't give you the final number, but with the team donations, we have crushed that already. So show the teams that they're not going to get a chance to crush the next goal. Go and hit !donate in the chat, or you can go below the stream if you are on PC, and you can just hit the donate button, go directly to the GoFundMe for the ABK Strike Fund. Remember, that goes to support Activision Blizzard workers as they are striking for a better work environment right now, for all the amazing games that Blizzard and Activision put out into our community. They should be treated with the utmost respect as their employees as well. So help them out as best as you can. And we're just going to keep right on rolling here. Friends and pals, now on the back foot. Reverse sweep possibly incoming, and now they have to decide where we're going to go next, Juggle. Do you think they're going to make it quick and take us to a third control map, or do you think that they want something possibly that can work a little bit more into their favor? I mean, I hate to say it, but could they possibly take us to Assault?
Oh, we dodged that bullet. We are going to be going to an escort map. Well, Rialto will be our destination this time around, so it's not going to be a short map by any stretch of the imagination. And that's just great, because that means more Overwatch and more time to donate to this wonderful, wonderful cause. And as we see the robotic-driven gondolas going down these flooded streets of Rialto, we're going to get a sneak peek into what these teams are thinking about rolling out on. And Period looking very interesting on the defense. Very interesting.
I mean, that's kind of what we saw on Oasis, to be completely honest with you. I'm not for sure if that's necessarily the best defense for Rialto. But I mean, it's definitely at least worth a shot. You've got Burb and Interstellar and Zoolander, all possible boopers on this bridge area, and I gotta say, that's always my go-to on Rialto as well. I'm always pulling out the Roadhog or the Lucio, because I mean, why eliminate heroes when you can just send them for a swim?
Exactly. Allow them to cool off for a little bit, maybe wipe away some dirt and grime that they got on themselves. Speaking of getting wiped away, though, Interstellar the first to fall, but my gosh, Period is coming back and forth, getting 2 picks very quickly. in short order, and a crucial one is Freddock as well on that Baptiste. That's gonna really sting and give a lot of progress over to the Friends and Pals.
Yeah, that early pick was just enough to be able to send Period back, even though they got a couple of picks to be able to turn it more into their favor. They had to give up kind of that high ground advantage. But now they've got this entire courtyard to work with. They just got to make sure that they keep Friends and Pals from getting into their backline. As you see Snow and falling incredibly low, thankfully able to get back in control, and Lambert, whoa, getting hooked right out of the sky.
They are going to get the counter pick, though, on Interstellar and be rezzed in the process. So, Friends and Pals looking pretty good right now. That is until Snow had something to say about it. Taking out a couple of key players from the Friends and Pals right as Hammy commits that supercharger as well. That's got to sting because that's not going to get the value that you'd hope. But Friends and Pals still able to come away with card progress. They have gotten the picks they've needed. They've caused a lot of damage to this Period side, but Mana Boost has been committed now onto the Roadhog. They're going to get this whole hog in short order, but an EMP coming out from Poke ain't going to make it even harder for these Friends and Pals to stay alive.
That's true. If the fight hadn't gone on so long, I probably would have made a Red Hot Chili Pepper reference for Snow with that pulse bomb. But Pokane really been doing a clinic here in the back line. They've been getting a lot of work done, and their tracking has just been phenomenal on that Sombra. I'm honestly very jealous.
Yeah, right?
I wish I could track with the SMG like that. Goodness.
Yeah, exactly. Bingo coming out with a big pick onto Lambit. That's going to slow things down once again for Friends and Pals. The Deadeye committed, though, from Aspect. They're not going to find anything with it, but they are going to be able to stall things out. Burb commits the minefields as well. Aspect's not going to be long for this world. And with that, Period coming out with another nice hold. They're going to be able to put a lot of pressure now onto this backline as well. Burb finding them caught out and in a bad position, but Friends and Pals coming away with a couple of picks of their own in the meantime.
See, that's the unfortunate part when you're not wearing the comic book Tracer skin right there, because I love all the little bops and bams that you get when you slap people in the face. But nevertheless, this beat may lock things down for Period once again. Maybe a little too early, but if they can get the picks to turn the tide, which it looks like they might still be able to hold on to this, and we're under a minute on the clock, Juggle.
Yeah, Period has done a tremendous job on this hold. This composition that they've been rolling out on these past two maps looks to really be paying dividends. Supercharged now committed by Hammy. Joey comes in as well with their Gravitic Flux, and with a couple of crucial picks on the tank line taken, Friends and Pals are primed to take this point, and with just 30 seconds to spare.
Ooh, EMP coming out, though, looking to see if it can turn the tide, but there's got to be a follow-up there. And the Nano does go on to Snow, falling incredibly low, though. The Nano can only do so much to keep you on that point. Minefield getting ready to be invested. The whole hog coming out for Interstellar, but both getting shut down right there. Pokane and Snow, the only ones near the objective to try to keep it in their favor, but they're going to have to give it up. The perfect timing right there from Friends and Pals to be able to lock it in. But, you know, Zoolander wanting to put $2 more on that board, sends Aspect right into the canal.
Yeah, what a comeback from Period. I mean, when they came back to try and hold that, I thought it was foolhardy. I mean, it was a 6-man EMP that Pokane got. And so, I thought it was a waste, though, but they almost came back. They forced Friends and Pals to commit a lot of ultimates, and now they have control of the ult bank.
That is true, and if they can get control of the cart where it is right there, they can still have kind of that canal advantage, especially when you got Interstellar on that hog, being able to send them over the side instead of into a wall makes your job so much easier. Minefield not going to get the value that it's looking for to start things off, though.
No, it's not. The hack comes out on the Lampin as well from Pokane, but they're going to be able to kite away from the damage. Picks coming out for each side now, but Freddock is going low due to a hack, but crucially, they were able to get that Immortality field out to save themselves. Now, Snow coming in big, trying to find some kind of purchase here, but the Friends and Pals just proving a little bit too much for them to handle. They are going to be taken out in the back line, and now this cart getting considerable amount of progress. This fight went on for so long.
Juggle, can I say that I feel a little bad for Joey right now? That's two
Yeah.
gravitic fluxes that Joey has used
Aw.
only to try to take out Interstellar, and all they end up doing is just yeeting their body into oblivion because the rest of the team kills them before they even get lifted off the ground. So
Yep.
it's so unfortunate as a Sigma player when all you're doing is lifting dead bodies out of the way for your team to push through. But hey, sometimes them's the breaks. 2 minutes though remaining on the clock, and another massive EMP from Pokane.
5 people are going to be caught by that. Crucially, the supports as well. No chance for an immortality field, and without that, Period is just going to wipe away their competition. Under 2 minutes on the clock now for Friends and Pals to regroup and try and push through this very difficult third point of Rialto.
Yeah, that was perfect timing for Period to be able to shut down. Rialto Point Charlie is always the most difficult one to be able to get in, and if you lose that momentum at any point in time, it is so hard to be able to take back. The only positive that Friends and Pals have is they at least have a shield, so it provides them a little bit more defense than we would see from Interstellar and the rest of the team. But the whole Hog and Beat get invested early.
Yeah, that they do. They're going to try and push through this defense, but Period is just proving too much. Excellent picks coming in there from the blue side.
Period doing an incredible job holding onto this defense as it seems almost dire at times.
Right?
And Friends and Pals are looking to break through the defense. Period just pull it right out from behind. 40 seconds remaining on the clock right now. Some ultimates coming online there for Friends and Pals, but Interstellar with a massive hook ends the fight before it even starts.
Yeah, now there's just 30 seconds on the clock for Friends and Pals to try and do something. They've got a tremendous amount of ultimates, though, to try and make something happen with Interstellar, though. Giving... Oh, look at that hook! Not quite able to finish them off. I gotta tell you, Lambit has 9 lives. Are they part cat? Because, my God, they should have died several times right there. But instead, it's Interstellar who follows Burbs, follows them very quickly after that as well. We're getting rapidly to overtime. There's not going to be any time on the clock if Friends and Pals is able to push it to completion. They're getting very close. Snow getting close to death as well. They just barely survive right there, having to blink across that gap so that they don't get taken out, but they're still being hunted very hard in the backline. But this card has made tremendous progress right now. Another 6-man EMP comes in from Poke. Can they turn this in their favor? We've got a minefield on point now from Burb, but the picks are still coming in favor of Friends and Pals. The self-destruct and the remake yielding a kill as well, and that's going to do it. They push it to the end.
That's unfortunate. Snow was so far out of position. I was actually a little worried for them. I wasn't for certain if an elimination had come in on Friends and Pals that one of them would have been coming back from spawn to shut them down, and I think Snow might have been worried about that as well. Despite the massive EMP, there was enough sustained potential from Friends and Pals that they were still able to push in. They already had the supercharger on the ground to be able to get things going, and thankfully it lasted long enough to still give them the benefit after the EMP wore off. But they got no time in the bank, Juggle, so it's up to Period right now as to how long or how much time they want to have in the bank at the end of this match. Obviously, they've got to get to Objective Charlie, but based on how well they have been playing with this Wrecking Ball Roadhog composition, which typically most would say is a pretty meme pick, right? It's not the composition that every team would be going for. It is just working out absolutely beautifully for Period.
It really is right now. They have put themselves firmly back into this game, and I've got to be honest, they're, I think, still looking a little bit better than Friends and Pals. I mean, that defense was absolutely tremendous. It's hard, but you have to keep in mind, too, that it is very hard to capture any of these escort maps fully. There's just so much working against you the entire time, and it's going to be a tough ask for Period, but if anyone can do it, it is definitely them. Roadhog looking for an early hook potentially, not finding anything at the moment, throws their hook right into the waiting shield of Hammies. progress being made, though. They're getting just around this first corner. Aspect being booped off the high ground, and that's going to be a nice hook coming in from Interstellar. But that defense matrix was there to keep them from taking too much significant damage. Zoolander goes down, but Frennek is out of the fight as well. And frankly, I think with the main support out, things are looking a little bit better for Periat this fight. An extra pick coming in favor of Friends and Pals.
Yeah, a lot of trades coming in for the side, for both sides right now, but Friends and Pals still have a pretty strong defense set up right here. Pokane, also, like Lambent, must have 9 lives at this point. They're always able to translocate out at just the right time. And we see Snow Ulray getting ready to come up onto that pulse bomb to start things out. But Lambent is getting huge value once again on this Torbjorn. I really hope that they don't make the same mistake that Tengu's team was making during their final matchup when the Torbjorn came out on the field.
Yeah, that's an interesting comparison. A very apt one as well, I think. Fight breaking out again, but Friends and Pals holding on strong right now. We've almost burned 2 minutes off the clock, and with that last kill coming in, this pushes over. Bingo, though, gonna use the Coalescence, and that's unfortunate.
Some tactical crouching there, it seems, as well from Aspect using but it called out the Deadeye, though, which normally would have been an incredibly important ultimate. Now has gone by the wayside, and Bingo was going to swap to Ana anyway. So honestly, that ends up being a benefit for a Period, regardless of what's going on. As you see, Lambent was so close to Pokane right there. That could have been deadly if they would have actually discovered that they were there.
Yeah, that certainly would have been. But look at this ult bank right now that Friends and Pals have. They've got 5. The stun comes in. The EMP doesn't go off. And with that, Joey launches a triple kill. Diva self-destruct. What tremendous play coming out from the Friends and Pals right there.
That was... Charlie should be
I gotta see that again.
Incredibly proud of themselves. I'm not for certain whether it was Charlie or Aspect, but I'm pretty sure it was Charlie. Done Pokane out of the air with the shield bash. Just was looking for that opportunity. Snow now coming in on the Widowmaker. Pokane opting for the Ash. With only a minute on the clock, they're going to have to be looking for those single pick potentials at this point if they're going to swap heroes so late.
Yeah, that's true. They have to be looking for that. Minefield committed, but they're going to kite away from it very easily. Hammy has the supercharger out now, and with that, there's going to be just too much damage for Periat to deal with. This hold on first point is almost complete. Just 30 seconds left on the clock now for Periat to try and make some magic happen. They do have a counter pick, though, onto Lambent, so this could be very beneficial, especially now that Joey's gone. They have an opportunity to try and push through this first point. And if they do that, they'll be in the exact same position that Friends and Pal were. But there's only 20 seconds to go.
That's true, but the change in the heroes might provide a little bit more stability for them. They've got a lot of range to be able to make their team a lot more malleable in the way that they're able to take out the enemy. So let's see if they can make that work. Joey adding another $2 to the bank in thanks of Interstellar, sending him over the side. That's another $2 coming in as Hammy goes over the side as well as overtime ticks away. That's going to be objective alpha captured. 2:30 back on the clock, juggle, and $4 in that donation bank.
Oh, is this the EMP? I hope this is the EMP right here.
Let's take a look. Who was it?
I think it was
still
actually
can't tell
Aspect.
who that was.
I think it was Aspect. Aspect was to their right. You can just barely see them out of the corner of the screen, but what an incredible play. I mean, that is top-notch Overwatch right there.
Yeah.
Period coming away with an early kill, though. That's going to start things off well for them getting around this corner.
Well, Ant Matrices now going out for either side as Snow takes control of the high ground, the Widow's Kiss.
Wow.
On full display here on Objective Bravo, and they have this long sight line to work in their favor, but Lambent does have... Really, Lambent?
Yeah. I feel like that was questionable at best. Yeah.
I really don't...
I mean, it got Burb away. I'll give it that. Burb is not in that corner anymore.
Yeah, but I don't think the goal was to get Burb out of the corner, though. Ideally, the goal would have been to kill Burb in that corner, and all they ended up doing was wasting that entire molten core. Even a couple of drops would have done the exact same thing that you were trying to do there. But Aspect trying to hold this line right now, finds Burb in their back line, and Charlie popping out the rally to sustain right here on Objective Bravo.
Yeah, with as soon as they popped that rally, things really turned back in favor for Friends and Pals, at least temporarily. But look at this, the counter pick coming in onto Aspect. Period, if they move quickly, it could come back in with a little bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, and Period have a lot of ultimates to utilize here too. Snow gonna swap over to the Cassidy. So we got the Cowpoke duo coming out here for the DPS. Bob is online, as is the whole hog. Let's see if they can get full value of that, because this is the last shot to get Objective Bravo, and overtime is going to tick away again.
Oh, but it's starting out well for them. Lambent taking it out of the fight. Here comes the self-destruct from Joey. They've been big in the past. Can they get anything this time? We have the Transcendence committed by Zoolander. This card's getting dangerously close to completion, and without Hammy or your tank line at... Oh, Period, gotta be able to capture here. We're gonna get to see the third and final checkpoint. I can't believe how close this has been.
Burb got away with the skin of their teeth right there. I was so surprised that they did not go down to the Deadeye of Aspect. That should have been a definitive elimination. Lambert swapping over to the Hanzo to try to get a little bit more of that log throwing single pick potential that they seem to need. The defense is in full control going into this objective. If they can get some picks and slow down this momentum, this will work out really well for Friends and Pals. But that's not a good way to start things off.
No, there has been a pick in, there have been counter picks right now. Friends and Pals actually coming away with a little bit of an advantage now. Period needs to let this go. They need to back out if they're going to get a full recontest here at the last moment. This is them with their back completely against the wall. This is their do or die moment. And with extra picks coming in at the end like that, it's going to make it that much harder for them to cap.
That is true, but as long as somebody is able to get to that objective, Burb being the one with their eyes out is definitely going to have to be the one to touch. And there you have a lot of ultimates in the bank to be able to utilize as well, whereas Friends and Pals, they're working their way up to some, but whether or not they can get them is going to be a different story. It looks like Burb has been able to touch the objective, trigger that overtime, and the Deadeye comes out.
Yeah, and with the Deadeye comes a kill as well. There's going to be a counter pick. They end up taking each other out of this fight. Another Deadeye coming out, but Aspect is going to be removed from the left, from the flank. Friends and Pals, though, coming up with the picks, and they've got the spawn advantage here. This could be all over for Period. There's an amplification matrix out, but look at the Dragon Strike. It takes out Pokane, and without Pokane, things are looking very rough for Period. Lambent coming alive once again, and that's going to do it. The Friends and Pals are gonna be your grand finals winners tonight.
What an absolutely astounding match of Overwatch juggle. You couldn't have planned it any better. Joey walking away with a play of the game here tonight with this self-destruct. EMP gets shut down. Everybody was ready to move in. No defensive settings. Was just absolutely clear for Joey to take advantage of. I couldn't have ended any other way. Ideally, you know, in my caster eye, I'm always hoping for the map 5 to be able to bring it home. But 4 maps, in the way that they ended up playing out every single time, absolute, drag down, knockout fights every single map. You couldn't ask for better Overwatch to close out the year.
Yeah, that's just tremendous. What a way, what an awesome cause to come together for, and what phenomenal Overwatch we got to see tonight. Just couldn't have asked for any better. And get this, we have footage of that EMP stun, so I want to see this.
Ooh.
I want to see this, so I'm going to be selfish right now and just ask that it be played.
Yeah.
I think everybody else wants to see it as well, but it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't able. The thing we're wondering is who did the stunning. We definitely can see the stun here, but I can't see who was it. Was it Yeah, I think it was Aspect. I don't see.
Yeah.
I can't tell if the other person that's on the other side of that pillar is.
There's the flashbang. They had to zoom in for us to see it. I love our producers. This is fantastic.
Zoom on image. Zoom. So I think that's the
Enhance,
flashbang.
enhance.
Enhance. That's the flashbang from Aspect. Thank you so much, Blizzard, for that. We appreciate that. That was beautiful. What our producers do for the crazy requests that we have as casters. But so congratulations to Friends and Pals Esports. They're taking away the victory today, but honestly, congratulations to all of us. The fact that we were able to not only this tournament coming together in about a week's time, which is really impressive for a 15-team tournament, and the number of people that we were able to pull in around finals and the holidays. Yeah. But the fact that we were able to raise over $1,000 for the ABK Strike Fund, which we will be getting at least the final total that we know as of right now here in a moment. You still have plenty of time to donate, so be sure to be hitting that exclamation donate in the chat. And Luna wanted us to let you know that this channel is open for anyone to utilize. If you would like to raise funds for the Activision Blizzard King Strike Fund, you can utilize this Twitch channel, set up a tournament of your own to be able to benefit them. All of us, I feel, are in agreement, if we're participating today, that we believe that folks at Activision Blizzard deserve a safe work environment to continue to make the amazing games that they do. So if in 2022 you feel the need to want to be able to support them by putting together a tournament, or a casters or producers event, or if you want to do a Torbhammer brawl battle, whatever it is that you want to do to be able to raise money for the ABK Strike Fund, just know that this channel is available to you to be able to utilize. So if you have not already, be sure to hit that heart and punch that bell so that you get notified every time it goes online. And goodness gracious, I believe that is with the additions coming in from the teams. That brings us up to $1,344.90. Very close, definitely smashing our secondary goal right there. As well as tremendous. Just I'm just beside myself, Juggle, not only being able to be a part of this event, but just seeing the generosity come out of people's hearts to be able to help out the folks at Activision Blizzard King. Just makes me feel so alive during this holiday season when things can look so bleak for these folks working there. So thankfully they will have a little bit of additional support. I know that $1,000 may not seem a lot in the grand scheme of things if you're an adult and you know about kind of what it takes for a single person to live a regular life month to month, but it does make a difference. Every dollar makes a difference, so be sure to continue donating even after this tournament is long gone, until the workers at ABK, workers all around our nation, start getting the respect they deserve for the work that they do.
Yeah. What a fantastic way to end this evening. Congratulations again to Friends and Pals. Congratulations and thank you from the bottom of our hearts to everybody who donated tonight and helped make this happen. Look at that. We've got a thank you screen with all of our teams who participated, and I gotta love seeing it. This was just tremendous. Thank you all. I wish I knew every single team's name right here, so I could call you all
right
out.
here, Juggle.
There they are.
There we go.
Wait,
so
this is the production and casters. Big thank you to the production and casters. Go for it, Captain Jack.
Thank you so much to our teams. I'm just going to be going down the list that we have to Friends and Pals Esports, Tengu, JJ, Crew, Sonder, KDR, Terminut, Baby Squid, Defrost. Oh, I'm glad I got to say that on stream. Warriors of Bud Light, Euphonic. Let's see who we got over here in the other one. Gongba, Periot, fruit salad, cookies for plats, and Natter's platters. Without y'all, we wouldn't have been able to do this. And then, of course, to our amazing staff and production, all volunteer coming in to help out. We were all gathered by the amazing Luna to be able to put on this event. And I tell you, Juggle, it's just been amazing. I work with a lot of these folks all the time, and being able to end the year on such a high note is so amazing.
That it is. Well, thank you all again so much for tuning in. But I think we've reached the end of this broadcast, Captain Jack. There's no more to say. There's no more to do. We have done it all, and I just want to thank you all for bringing me in and giving me this opportunity to cast these grand finals and to cast yesterday as well. It just it means a lot, and yeah, I can't think of a better way to close out my first year as a caster. We got what is this? Charlie!
Oh,
They came in with a tremendous donate, Charlie.
Well, that's the donation from Friends and Pals. So I just we did record the fact that was pretty much all Lambit, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think Lambit got the full 150 locked into that, if I remember correctly. So that is a whole $214 on there. That's part of the 1344.90 that we read off earlier. So thank you to all of you at Friends and Pals Esports for that amazing donation. And like we said, the GoFundMe isn't ending anytime soon.
Yeah.
So if you can't donate right now because of the holidays, that's absolutely fine. Keep it in your browser, for a day that you might have some extra funds, instead of getting that coffee or, for us gamers, that energy drink, go ahead and donate it to a worthy cause, such as this one. So from all of us here at A Community for a Better ABK, thank you so much to our production, Mr. Juggle God, and myself, Captain Jack. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see y'all in 2022.